Morning, everybody. Welcome to Ring Post Radio. I'm your host, Ryan Knightsey, the voice of the tasteless. Where did my little thing go? There it is. Boop. And I am joined, as always, this Sunday morning with Scotty Edwards, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm doing the intro, but it's all over the place. This is the only podcast that mixes it up every once in a while. And today we're mixing up on a Sunday, our usual time slot. Scotty, how's it going on this fine Sunday morning?
That was a struggle to get through, and I didn't say a single word. Holy my God. I didn't know where you were going to go next.
All the words were there, but it just came out jumbled.
Yeah, that's true. That's
it was
true.
Like,
well,
did you growing up, did you ever have those like refrigerator magnets that were a bunch of like words? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean. I didn't have them.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a big words guy. I know I am a writer. So that
and a podcaster.
Makes it wicked funny all these years later. But no, I know what you mean. No, I did not have them though. I didn't play on the fridge. Sorry.
You were not a fridge guy?
No. I was a fridge kid, and like, oh, what's in the fridge? Not like playing on the fridge. You know,
sure.
Never got the test on the fridge. Never, no fridge stuff.
Now, is that a parental thing, or is that just a Scotty, a dumb Scotty kid?
If I got an A+, I'd be like, don't put it on the fridge. No, it was just naturally like I never understood that actually. Of like putting the test on the fridge. That never registered in my brain. Like, why does that need to happen?
That my parents never did that because, and I tell you why. No, because the expectation was that you would have A's. Why would you reward A's when that's the expectation?
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair. I was a good student up until high school where I started to give up. Then I was good in college again. My sister, however, is all A+ all the time and always has been, and she's in school right now, and she's like, I have a 3.9 GPA. I was like, ha, loser. Where's the 4? Nerd.
Expectation is the bar has been set by you.
Yeah, I set a nice solid bar of like, hey, you get a nice like low 3 point something in high school, you're doing good. And my sister was just like, yeah, fuck that. But yeah, that's school with Scott and Ryan. Thank you everyone for listening. Otherwise, better week this week than last week, which is nice.
It's great. It's great to hear.
I'm tired, but that's just me.
Well, that's usual.
I feel extra tired this week. I don't know why. Just the truth. But yeah. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. People over there, what's up? If you feel me, say what's up. Unless you're Triple H, then you just lie.
Yeah, a lot to get to, of course, this week. Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Hope you like the show.
Good morning, Zach.
Triple H.
Zach
Triple H. Triple H. Oh, something about our truth. Hope you like the show. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that realistically, if I thought about it, Scotty, the opening of the show is Welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show where I hope you like the show. You're like watching.
Hope you like the show, brother. Oh shit, wrong guy.
Wrong guy. Yeah, a lot to get to. Of course, we're going to talk about Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide, the two WWE shows that took place yesterday. We're also going to discuss Dynamite Fyter Fest and preview Dominion, which is next week for New Japan as well.
Can I just say, World Collide was a trip.
Yeah, it was trippy.
I was watching. I was like, what is going on? I was like, what world, what simulation have I entered? This is weird. I'm seeing like the triple. I'm seeing Blue Demon Jr. and Triple H.
Yeah,
it's like what the fuck?
Yeah, I think it was Blue Demon Jr. holding an urn next to Triple H.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Holding the urn.
Crazy.
Urn? No. The ashes of Antonio Pena, I believe, is what the representation of it is.
Do you think it actually was?
That I don't know. It's like,
dude, I'm trying to be respectful, obviously.
I'm trying to be respectful, but it was it a shoot urn or was it a work? Well, with this company,
that's Ring Post Radio, baby.
With this company, Scotty, I don't know anymore.
That's Ring Post Radio, baby. We asked the big questions here.
That's exactly what we're doing. I truly don't know, but I guess maybe someone ask Cubs fan. Let's see if we can get him on the case.
Jesus.
Anyways, let's talk about wrestling. A lot to get to this week. 4 big topics of discussion here, Scotty. And we'll start off, of course, with Money in the Bank. And we'll start off, with the surprising big news story that is broken from the show. Last week we were finishing up our program. I saw in a comment, I forget who it was, someone left a comment about someone departing WWE, and I read their tweet verbatim on this X post on verbatim on this podcast about how R-Truth, his contract is not getting renewed or whatever. And that was apparently true. That was apparently true. Then later in the same day, in the same week, we saw that Carlito had a similar announcement about Carlito stepping out. Or not stepping
Yeah, he
out,
ain't getting brought back. No one gives a shit about him.
Valhalla
Things to think
or
about.
Sarah Logan, the same fate, getting dropped.
Learning she was still signed with an absolute stunner to me.
Mm-hmm. I believe she's also currently pregnant or injured. I forget which one, but still,
that's a combination.
Yeah, whichever one it is, it's it's not atypical, right?
I don't know how people found it, but they found like things about her background. They're like, whatever. And I was like, exactly. That's crazy.
And then after a week of constant chanting, not really constant.
We want truth. It was pretty loud.
Solid. I would say
WWE show.
Yeah, solid level of chanting all week long on all WWE TV programming. At the end of Money in the Bank, during the main event, R-Truth returned, or AKA Ron Killings. I guess we don't know exactly yet, but he has returned. And the immediate question was this real? Was it a shoot? Was it a work? Was he actually fired? Or did they all work us for the entire week to put over Ron Killings, R-Truth, for some reason? The question was asked to Triple H in the post-press conference, and Scotty, what was the answer?
Hope you enjoyed the show.
Thanks, man. And then R-Truth and his son clap back and say, "Not a work. This is Cap."
I was gonna say, I believe his son said, legitimately did the emoji Cap.
I think his son also said, "Congrats, Dad, on the new deal." And then I believe it was Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp overnight that said
long story.
There was basically R-Truth was let go, or rather released, or whatever. His contract is not getting renewed.
Yeah, he technically never left.
Yes,
that's his contract is unique part.
We don't know when do we know when his contract was?
I think it was within the next month.
Okay. So then he was already starting to get, the ball rolling when that contract, because if his contract is up, you have no non-compete clause. So he's just trying to get the ball rolling. That all makes sense. He had discussions with various companies and various conventions, all these sort of things.
Rightfully so.
And then the We Want Truth outcry started outpouring, and WWE started trying to get in contact with R-Truth, to which R-Truth, according to Fightful, said basically, "Fuck that, no." And so much, awesome. so much so, and so often, and you have to think one of those people was Triple H, Scotty, because the person that was able to convince R-Truth to come back was apparently Nick Khan himself.
Good for R-Truth, man.
Yeah,
he got told by some PR person or whatever they said, like some talent relations guy. He even get told by like Triple H or Nick Khan. So good for him. He was like, if you want me back, you gotta actually be someone. I'm not answering. I'm not just answering the call.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He and not only that, but you have to pay up, or whatever this is going to end up being. You have to legitimately pay up, because
I'm not going on the veterans minimum over here.
Something happened where R-Truth is now officially back. Nick Khan, I love Eternal if you're in the chat. Nick Khan convinced him by selling him 50% of AAA. That's a very funny, very funny. Do enjoy that. Yeah, but whatever happened,
he'd book that better than Conan.
I don't know if Fightful has the announcement of whatever this new thing is. If it is a new thing, because
it's a new deal.
Is it okay? Yeah, I presume it's a new deal. So we don't know what the details of this new deal are, but have to imagine it's been better than what he was paying already. But no matter what,
something around it.
No matter what, R-Truth is back, and Triple H, the booker, wants you to believe that it was all work. Scotty, thoughts on all of this news breaking overnight?
Well, if I was a gullible WWE super fan, I sure would think it was a work because why think anything else? Triple H is perfect. He's not, by the way. Just need to stress that if you're coming in here and be like, "You like Triple?" No, I don't.
I love the sheer amount of times that there is such an obvious question going into these press conferences.
And he's like, "What if I just didn't answer
it?" Well, not just only different doesn't answer it, but his answer is always like the worst variation of an answer.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole Janelle Grant lawsuit, this situation.
He didn't read it.
Just like
honestly, he should have just stayed with the shtick. He should have been like, "Yeah, I didn't read the social media. I don't know what you're talking about." We want who? We want what?
What he should have said is that we listened to our fans.
It's so easy.
Just say we weren't going to renew his contract.
You don't have to say that, but you say we listened to the fans. That's literally all he had to say.
We saw the outcry, we listened to the fans, and we brought him back.
That being so Triple H is bad. Okay, let's get that out of the way. TKO is bad. We can get that out of the way too. We're in agreement on that one, everyone.
Exactly right.
And it'll be great in like a year when Triple H is outed by The Rock. But other than that, it's fine. We'll keep having these conversations. I will say the R-Truth pop got me good. Sure. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like the moment I saw the guy spear him, I was like, oh my god, is that? Then he revealed, and the crowd freaking lost their mind. It's like, man, look how simple it was. You could they got lucky by being stupid. This is the problem with WWE, right?
Yes.
They get to be dumb as shit, the worst, and they can turn it around just like that with something like this.
Meanwhile,
now they're going to benefit from this.
Other companies are raked over the coals over one tiny little detail, one mistake. This isn't just an AEW thing, not just an AEW thing, but every other company.
That's true. A lot of people do care about MLW. No one does, by the way. I have seen this week a lot of people making fun of Joe Hendry and TNA though, so that's cool. Which
the Joe Hendry resistance.
The Joe Hendry resistance. No shit. But as I was saying, this is like the only company in the world that can do something like this. And listen, it's great that they gave in and gave R-Truth a contract because my God, I said it last week. This is stupid. Why the hell does this guy not have a lifetime deal with this company? And I booked several different things. I was ready for the heel R-Truth manager role. Show some love for Ron Killings, all that good stuff. But I'm happy for him. Yeah. I am. Because he should be there. You saw how much people cared about him throughout the week, especially the wrestlers. And that's why it's not a work, because you don't work the entire locker room on something like this. This isn't like your big main event angle or something. This was just now it is, but it wasn't originally. And yeah, I'm just so done with the gullible, oh my God, they're just the greatest company ever. Look, Triple H kept it. No, he didn't. Okay. He didn't do shit. All right. Never does. Done.
It's so funny. That's a great point, Scotty. It's so funny that realistically, TKO, WWE, some PR, some HR company team thing, said we have too many people, and then let's say it was Triple H, let's say it was Nick Khan. It was someone up.
This is definitely the TKO process of we need to cut money.
Yeah,
and they look at the deals.
This guy's old, so we don't really need his deal. Right?
We pay him a little bit too much for what he does. Roman's not getting a new contract. Remember, that's what I also read this week.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that Triple H doesn't necessarily have a hand in those decisions. No one knows truly.
He has plenty.
I think it's fair to say he has that. But to then be probably told "F you" by R-Truth, and then have Big Boy Nick Khan come in and be like, "All right, this is what we're doing." And then go on television, and the first person to give an answer by the company about this whole thing is Triple H to say it was all the work, implying this was all his idea. This is all the story booking that the genius Triple H put together.
Of course.
So funny.
He, like every other booker in the world, doesn't like being affected by the fans. Like that is just how wrestling works, right? Wrestling bookers don't like to have to change plans due to fans. That's just factual.
Yeah.
It was Vince never did. Like we know this. That was the talking point forever. I mean, hell, the world's favorite booker, Tony Khan, obviously doesn't love to do that either, but he does it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it takes a while for him to
right.
shift things.
John Moxley's still world champion. He clearly doesn't care that much what we say in terms of that. I've asked for the pivot for 7 months now. But like that's the thing. Like it's little things like this they're willing to change, but they still have to eat it because it's like this one was stupid. R-Truth should have never been going anywhere. Carlito stole money for 2 years. I don't blame that one. You know?
Yeah.
Shout out to Carlito.
Remember he signed the contract and then wasn't on TV for like maybe 6 months to a year.
Yeah, and then they just put him with the Judgment Day and he wrestled like 3 matches total. Like what a guy. And he wrestled in street clothes. He was like, I'm not doing gear. Are you nuts? But yeah, with R-Truth, it was always stupid. R-Truth is the man. I've always loved R-Truth. I'm happy he's back. Good for him.
But instead of like publicly eating shit about it, I guess
they don't like to do that.
Triple H is just like, and that's the other big thing, right? Is okay, we're bringing back R-Truth. What are we doing with him? We have to do something with him because now we're giving him a bunch of money.
Yeah. So I think part of the report was like they met halfway. So like it's probably not as much as he was originally making, but it's also not as low as they lowballed him.
Possibly.
So he's still gonna be making a comfortable amount. I'm sure as someone that was in the company for 17 years in a row.
Sure.
I'm sure his deal was pretty high.
But what do you creatively like? Going back to the Triple H.
It's just him being there. That's all these people care about.
That's the thing, right? It's like Triple H, like presumably saying, "Okay, we can get rid of R-Truth." Is probably his A-OK is. I don't have any other creative ideas for this guy. If you're thinking about getting rid of him, then that's okay with me. Now Triple H is forced to bring back this guy and come up with ideas and do something.
Have him beat John Cena. Who gives a shit?
WWE fans just want to see this guy have a contract. That's ultimately why everyone was pitching him like AEW because they just want to see him have a contract, which I want to see him have a contract because he's a nice guy,
Everything about R-Truth that I'll always say is no matter what, he's always cheered. He's always rooted for, even if he literally is just comedic shtick for the past decade. He's just always gets a reaction. So again, it was always stupid when you released a guy that does that because I don't want anyone to lose their job, but you have a lot of people that don't get that.
Yep.
I mean, I think it was Trevor Dame that said, like, what if Karrion Kross has done all this and he's just watched R-Truth get his entire push instead? And I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
I think with R-Truth now you have a chance to do something interesting, obviously, based on the way the show ended in a more serious manner and the crowd loving him. Will they do it? They'll probably give him like one more match with Cena or something. It's not going to be
a serious Ron Killings match.
Yeah, which would be cool. I would not be against that whatsoever. They'll probably toss it in like Saudi Arabia and just make it 10 times less meaningful because that's what we do here. But maybe I'll just do Saturday Night's Main Event again.
Yeah.
No offense to All In. I think All In starts at like 3. It'll be over by then. It doesn't matter either way. I learned that yesterday. I forgot, like, I knew Evolution was the same weekend. And I was like, oh, there's actually a show that day.
Yeah.
That I feel like no one gives a shit about because it's Saturday Night's Main Event. But I was like, that is crappy. That's on brand.
I think what's also very interesting, and we can talk more about R-Truth in a little bit, but I just want, just because we're kind of circling at this idea for me, the fact that like we're bringing back R-Truth and it does feel like the next creative thing for him immediately feels like another Cena match, right?
You would think so.
You would think so, just based on costing him the match and all these sort of things. It seems like that's the route we're going. Michael Cole last night reminded me that we are halfway through Cena's retirement year. And I just want to point out how haphazard last second booking decisions are made for this entire run. We have the Rock heel involvement. We have the heel turn happening maybe too early, but definitely like weirdly. And then all the fallout from that. Then you have this one R-Truth match, which is a nice piece of business. But then because of the fans, you're forced to bring Truth back and forced into another match, which takes the book off of some other match that Cena might have done. That it's just like it. All of this whole Cena retirement tour feels
sucks
so
ass.
Not just like on screen, but like everything about it just is so. We're not thinking. We're just doing whatever. We're not putting any thought into anything. It feels.
It could have been so easy, and they've somehow said, "How do we make this the most difficult path possible?"
Mm-hmm.
And it legitimately gets more and more infuriating. Like, I got to a point during that show last night where like fucking Cena's about to come out or whatever. I'm like, oh well, at least Nikki Bell's back. Because I was like, I just got delirious. I was like, oh well, thank God something is right with this company. And I don't know. I just lost my mind. I was like, this show is the longest show of all time. Nothing makes sense. And I still have to watch John Cena team with Logan Paul in his freaking retirement tour. Because that is the decision we made in this company. Which is funny because out of all the John Cena matches we've seen so far, that might have been one of the better ones since he's come back. Just because it wasn't bad. That's the world we live in. Yeah, I'm just so unbelievably done with it. It's like, can Cody just win the title so Cena can be a good guy for the last 3 months and we can call it a day? Like that's where we're at. Like that's what's gonna happen very clearly, because if it doesn't, then the company should shut down. The company already should, but that's for other reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Just like give Cody the world title so that Cena can just have a nice like little 3 months of like, I'm sorry guys, and we can retire and say so long. That's all that matters. I'm very, 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 very over heel John Cena. I think John Cena's over heel John Cena. And I know the fans are over heel John Cena. So yeah, let's just get to the destination so we can get past this and move on. The thing about WWE and maybe another some companies that I watch that are popular, they, you can do whatever you want, right? You can do whatever you want because you're hot, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And while they are cooling down, right? That's a legitimate thing. They still can do whatever they want because they're still the biggest dog. They're still mostly selling out buildings. They're still, that's the thing. Until they're not selling out buildings, nothing's going to change.
I had that thought.
And they're on Netflix, so those don't matter. I know like people bring up the views and all that right now. Like I know Dave said like it's the lowest ever or whatever this week.
Yeah.
Still doesn't matter. They're paid. They don't care.
Yeah. Money.
Netflix may ask them like, hey, can you like do something? And they'll be like, sure. But otherwise, doesn't matter. Just like the pay-per-view stuff doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is SmackDown. And that barely matters because it's on USA and it's still going to be the number one thing every week.
Didn't I read a report that they're re-upping the 3-hour SmackDowns?
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They're making money off of it. That's the thing. Nothing matters. Just like in AEW now, nothing matters in terms of your ratings. You know why? You got the big contract. You're good for a few years. That's just how these contracts work.
The
you
ratings,
have your money.
The ratings. I mean, they always kind of matter to a certain degree, but they super matter like the last year.
They don't matter till then.
Yeah. Yeah, WWE is. I thought about that during the Logan Paul entrance with the drone. Of just like I'm just like the drone's going and like you see the entire filled up arena or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking myself of like, I really hope they stop being hot so I have to stop so I can stop seeing these drone shots. Because it's like, this kind of shot we cannot do if we have a half empty building,
Yeah. That reminds me. Can I say how stupid this arena is with all the lights?
The Intuit Dome, or
yeah. What is that light thing going on? Like I want to blame WWE for it, but it's not them. It's the building.
It's the chairs, I think.
Yeah, they have like little lights next to them, and they had them on during the Women's Money in the Bank, and I was like, this is so annoying. I was like, they finally shut them off during matches, but I was like, this is bad.
Yeah.
And I remember during the Netflix debut because I was like, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, it was just like a bunch of white lights or something.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, do they like move to the song Fiend or something? Fiend, and they just go on and off.
Yeah. Well, look,
that was my fear during the show, by the way.
I think if they they lit up and changed, or vibrancy or whatever, like during entrances, like to the music. Like
Yeah.
remember Revolution 2020 where they had those
No.
bands for the crowd,
Oh, yes.
and it would sync up with the music or whatever. They never
Yeah,
did it
which is
again.
fine. That's
Never
not
did
what
it
these
again. It
lights do,
sucks that
though.
they never did it again because it was kind of cool. Uh,
COVID hit. Ran out of
yeah.
money.
But I wonder, like, uh, if they did something like that where it's like it
Right.
wasn't just like a
Yeah.
light and that's it.
Is that what that building was going for? And they just were like, we have lights instead. Like, there's no like rhythm to it.
Yeah.
You can just change the color. I don't know. That's not the conversation point. Let's just talk about this show so I can move on in my life.
Is there any other thoughts about R-Truth that we need to get out?
I'm happy for him. I'm happy he won. I'm happy he made them pay him.
Is there sort of any issue that we need to continue to talk about with these shoots, whatever this is, of firing a bunch of people or allowing their contracts to run out, and then bringing back one person because the fans say yes, we want to bring that back? Is that a talking point now? They've done it before. I remember they did that with, what was this, Drake Maverick? Remember they did that with him many moons ago?
They did do that, yeah.
They do it every once in a while, but
this one's different to me just because like Drake Maverick was like random and unnecessary at the time, but
because that was during the pandemic, if I recall.
Yeah, well, yeah, that sucked for that. This is different though because like this was a long-term historic, like this is a guy that's been there forever.
Sure.
And like this is a veteran. This is a guy people love in the company. And I mean, in terms of the work shoot thing, like I don't know, WWE's not that smart. Triple H isn't that smart. I'm sorry. So like you can't convince me this was a worked thing. You can't. You know why? Because I saw Kathy Kelly like crying in a post-match thing. Like that told me that should tell you everything you need to know. Like this is a genuine feel throughout a company that they love R-Truth. They have to carry on because they're paid employees, independent contractors per contract, but employees. And yeah, it's just like
to me, it sucks that WWE wins PR points from all.
They always win PR. This is the thing with WWE. They are able to do this like that's the first thing I said. It's like somehow they're celebrated for this, though they should still be put over the coals for this because they pissed off their entire company by doing this in the first place. This should have never happened.
If they want to do if Triple H wanted to have this grand idea, a retirement match versus Cena would have been a funny bit, and then come back as Ron Killings in this moment, right? That's fun. That would have worked out great. The crowd would have been still upset. You would have gotten the same reaction. And you would have had a good storyline beat. That would be the sort of thing that you did with like the CM Punk, Cena, Money in the Bank stuff, right? You get some sort of resemblance to that.
Yeah.
This is turning real life stuff into just trying to get away with it and passing it off like a story. And it's now going to become a story. It's now going to become the next story. And like we said, the talking beat of it's probably going to be the next Cena matches against R-Truth, which, am I necessarily like, that's the thing, right? It's a cool story to do when you had it like CM Punk, who was like the hottest star in the world, right?
Yeah. Drake
Maverick, you did this. This actually happened with Drake Maverick. He came back for that cruiserweight title round robin tournament, I believe. Did however well he did. And then they quietly shuffled him off to a backstage producer role, and that's where he's been ever since. Again, I ask you this, folks. What is next for R-Truth now? What are they going to do with him? Obviously, Triple H doesn't have any ideas for him. That's why they let him go.
Let's just be perfectly honest. He's going to go back into his role, which, again, good for him. Go get paid the contract that you've had for years, because at the end of the day, that's what matters most, because he's good for morale. He is a company guy, and he's a good guy. That's what matters. It doesn't matter. Like, he probably does not care that much all these years later if you put him on in this big angle. That's just the facts. So he's going to go back to doing what he's probably been doing after whatever they do right now.
I guess the big question here, Scotty, is for the PR perspective of WWE, do they win back as many positive PR points
No.
compared to the amount they lost with this whole R-Truth stuff?
No.
They're
Not at
still in
all.
the red. They're still in the
Yeah,
negatives.
absolutely. Because unless you are a delusional World Wrestling
Fanatic.
Federation fan, yeah, you aren't getting off the hook here.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
No, you definitely shouldn't. That goes without saying.
And it
Yeah.
sucks because then you could just be like the whole other idea, a whole other angle of this is then Triple H and WWE can be like, well, don't listen to the dirt sheets, brother. You know, the dirt sheets are fake and false. And don't listen to Sean Ross Sapp and him reporting that we were raked over the coals by R-Truth on
Yeah.
this contract deal. You know, just
Yeah,
ignore
you
them.
keep
They got
saying
it
that
wrong.
you keep saying that to your fans, and they'll eat it up and they'll act like it, and it's whatever. But you got you got you got God on this one, Triple H. You lost, and you can take the L all the way back to Greenwich, Connecticut, where you live.
Let's start off with the Money in the Bank. This, of course, Intuit Dome, Inglewood, California. Let's talk about the show, starting off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Naomi picks up the win by defeating Alexa Bliss, Julia, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, and Stephanie Vaquer. And Scotty, not a full victory lap for me, but I did say, we both walked away saying Rhea Ripley, but I did throw out there the dark horse pick of Naomi potentially winning the women's Money in the Bank. And boy, howdy, I didn't go for it, but I did say it. I will say that I mentioned it. About
the whole week I've saw people saying Naomi. I was like, I guess I have missed something.
Rhea Ripley makes sense to me, but Naomi, I was like, this is a solid pick.
I was trying to make life easier for Triple H. I was like, you hate Money in the Bank, you could just make this life easy.
He doesn't have time to read, Scotty. He needs his life to be easier.
I know. Well, he didn't have to read. He could have just listened. Asshole. Good for Naomi. I mean, you bet on yourself, right? You leave the company, and look at that. Now you come back, and you're probably going to be world champion again. So that's pretty cool for her. She made the most sense in terms of like, oh, you need a heel, right? Money in the Bank's a heel gimmick. Yeah. It always will be. And it's like I was looking at the field. I was like, well, Julia's new, Roxanne's new, and Naomi's the heel. So there you go. No, it makes sense. Good for her. Match was fine. It a lot more reserved, which I actually welcome at this stage because I don't need these wrestlers destroying themselves. I think long gone are that type of ladder match anyways. Yeah, I didn't really have any complaints. It was whatever.
That's a great question. What are these like maybe like philosophically or produce speaking or whatever? What are like these matches supposed to be anymore, right? To me, it's like extreme high spots, right? That's what am I looking for these kind of matches?
I don't know anymore.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Like
looking for no one to get hurt.
Yeah, sure.
Pretty much now.
And I think in a large degree, I think that's what we're talking about here is that like I think that's kind of what the problem with Money in the Bank ladder matches lately are is that
that's the problem with ladder matches.
And I think the
multi-man ladder
overindulgent, especially in WWE of ladder matches. But this thing of like you want to see extreme high spots, but it's also very much like the wrestlers and the fans don't necessarily want to see people get hurt, which is its own thing. But then especially like not every wrestler is like made for a match like this. I don't think, Scotty, Alexa Bliss is made for a multi-man ladder match, extreme high spot match.
No.
She's not that kind of bumper.
That's the thing about this one. It's like they don't have someone that's going to be doing the big, huge, massive spot, and that's okay. I don't need anyone to do the big, huge, massive spot. A lot of these wrestlers I really like, so it's fine. I'd rather them be wrestling tomorrow rather than missing the next month because they got hurt. And at the end of the day, once Io wasn't in it, you knew there was no big high spot. That's what she does, right? Like every year, it's like, oh, it's Money in the Bank. Oh, it's War Games. We need Io in the match, right? That's always been the case. And once she wasn't in it, it's like, okay, well, we're gonna keep it a bit reserved this year, and that was okay. I had no problem with it. They did their best. I don't think it was boring. I just think it went a little long, but I felt that way for both of them.
Yeah. The men's one was way longer, but we'll talk
the
about
men's
that.
one was so long. But that's because they did the like 2 big angle things in the middle and whatever. Though that one had more high spots. I'll give them that, I guess. But yeah, Naomi's a fine winner. I mean, she can cash in. I will say Naomi won. I was like, good. Bianca Belair is going to be world champion again.
Well, you say Bianca Belair, but one of the reasons I threw at the dark horse pick as well
I'll say
was
Jade.
Jade Cargill finally wins the world title and immediately gets cashed in on Naomi, so we can avoid WWE can avoid
That works.
to avoid that issue.
That works too. I mean, I still think Bianca will end up winning it then, but
Sure.
Which was the exciting part for me because I was like, well, she's should have a world title again soon. But yeah, it wasn't bad. This show, I'll say this just now. This show wasn't bad, which was a nice exit for WWE. I didn't walk, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't great. This is how I viewed it. It wasn't great. It was definitely on the low tier of pay-per-views for me, but it was on a series of pay-per-views on a decline. This bumped back up. I was like, all right,
time. Yeah,
still not great. Still,
I didn't feel like
I think it was slightly worse than Elimination Chamber, in my opinion.
I didn't feel like my time was wasted this time, like I have been the past like 7.
I think that's
a victory in itself. I also got reminded midway through this show that SummerSlam was 2 nights, and I wanted to cry. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I did 2 nights of SummerSlam. 1 night of SummerSlam is usually so bad.
Yeah,
now I got to do 2."
I do want to say Alexa Bliss is not like necessarily a great bumper, and I'm saying that she's not a good bumper for these kind of matches. The only bump that I remember this entire match is Alexa Bliss taking that bump on her stomach on the edge of the ladder when she was
kind of nasty,
dropped on like a suplex kind of thing or whatever it was. That's the only bump on this entire match.
I remember. I remember Roxanne getting tossed a few times, and then that Roxanne took a lot of the big spots, and then they did the double code reds on the ladder.
Double code reds on the ladder.
And Stephanie did the devil's kiss on the ladder. I also remember that one. That was very manufactured and funny. I was like, that. All right, whatever.
That is kind of what's frustrating about some of these matches. It's just like, how do we do your signature spot on a ladder?
On the ladder, yeah. Which, like, honestly, after all these years and all these ladder matches, I get it. Like, you're probably better off just doing that than like, oh, what would happen if we threw you off the ladder through 10 tables on the outside? It's like, well, you'd probably be a lot healthier. So that's nice.
Sure.
I always think back to those old ladder matches. Like, thank God we don't do that anymore. Like, obviously they're cool and stuff.
Did anyone get like really injured off of those like big ladder matches? Though,
I mean, I wouldn't call the Hardys in great shape. Long term.
You mean long term? Sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Edge and Christian were better off for their involvement in those matches.
Sure.
I like to think of the long term health of wrestlers, and obviously that is always a bit scary. And when you do these matches, it's a little extra scary. When the tagline's like, "Oh, you lose a few years of your career," it's like you legitimately do. It's actually kind of screwed up. Yes. But you do them anyways. So again, I don't care about it being reserved at this stage of the game because at the end of the day, I'm over the ladder match, no matter who runs it. So
there's the ladder match in WWE gets like an anti-handicap where it's like it's not getting helped because of what it is. It's just getting like there's a ceiling. There's a ceiling of how good these matches can be. I think, in my opinion, just in terms of my preference.
Like I said, they didn't have a flippy diving person. Like last year's women's one was crazy because EO did that thing off the top, like a week before Summer Destiny and had me on the edge of my seat crying.
Yeah.
This one had
a lot more bruisers and strikers.
Yeah, grounded.
Yeah, but to that end, it didn't have enough ladder striking and bruising, I guess, for my.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't do the spinning ladder thing like they did in the men's match. So that
with the fireball ladder.
Yes, with the fireball ladder, the special ladder, the important ladder. God.
Anyways,
everything's that.
We'll get to that. WWE Intercontinental title match here. This was made on the spot day of during the Worlds Collide show. Dominic Mysterio challenged Octagon Jr. That's right. Octagon Jr. challenge Dominic Mysterio 2025 for the Intercontinental title. It's unbelievable that here we are with these sort of things, but the match did in fact take place. 4 minutes and 55 seconds was the time. Dominic Mysterio retains, of course. I thought this was a nice little match for what it was. Nothing too special. I went like 2.5. Basically, it's just sort of like, yeah, it was a good effort, and it was less than 5 minutes, so it was fine.
I'd love to hear what Karen Cross's thoughts were on this one. Yeah, it's fine. I'm happy that they got Dominic on Worlds Collide because I was like, yeah, they should have him on there. That makes sense.
That does make sense.
And then they made a match with Octagon Jr. I was like, all right, that's all right.
They seem to really like Octagon Jr., or at the very least enough to put him into 2 matches in one day like this.
Yeah, for sure. I think my favorite part about this though was they got the win back.
What do you mean?
So like Octagon Jr. won on Worlds Collide, and they made sure that only Triple A only had 1 win the entire night.
I was going to bring this up for the Worlds Collide, but just that ending shot of AAA with Vikingo, everyone out, all the wrestlers out. Yeah, everyone's out there celebrating like, oh, Vikingo won and AAA wins the night or whatever. And I was just sitting there like, but overall, it's like 3-2 WWE. They had more wins in their side of the corner. And then you're right. And then later in the night, Dominic,
they got rid of one
Octagon.
Pretty easily too. But yeah, it was a fine like match to just add. Honestly, I have no problems with it. Good for Octagon Jr. Pretty cool for him, I'm sure.
Does it do enough for him to get him over to the crowd? Whatever.
I don't think that was it. I think they were just like, we need someone that can work Dominic the same day.
Yeah.
And they went with him.
Yeah. There are certainly better other options in my opinion, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, did you want El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. losing twice?
No.
Once was good enough.
Imagine if they threw out Pagano here in this spot. We'll get to Pagano. We'll get to him.
I thought about watching the ladder match. I was like, oh, they should just toss Pagano in this.
Mm-hmm.
He could have done something.
He likes his favorite hobby is falling, so that would work. WWE Women's Intercontinental title match. Becky Lynch defeats Lyra Valkyria. She defeats Lyra. She gets her hand raised, all these sort of bits. But the feud, of course, continues. Lyra hits the suplex afterwards. Feud continues. I think we talked about it. It feels like evolution. It's not going to be a mystery in this case, but specifically, it's going to be Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria. Probably some sort of stip. That would be the best assumption here.
Yeah, maybe.
And then we'll see what happens. Becky Lynch defeats Lyra Valkyria. What do you think of the match?
I thought this match was great.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny how many times she comes back and how many times people doubt her, and then Becky Lynch has the best matches and the best stories that this company has every time she's around. It's just it's rinse and repeat. I don't know how many times we're gonna do it, but she's gonna keep doing it. She has made me believe in Lyra Valkyria, someone that at the beginning of this feud I was like, I don't really get it. Now I'm like, oh, she's great. Like, this is great. Like, this was so good. I watched this match. I was like, what? Did I change the channel? Am I watching a different company? What happened? Yeah, I don't know. They were awesome. One of the best WWE matches of the year. I was thinking to myself, I was like, easily like probably top 3 off the top of my head because I can't remember any others besides the 3-way from WrestleMania and
and there's a long pause here for Scotty. He's
I don't know. There's probably another one. Yeah. Oh, I really liked
the other Lynch Lyra Valkyria match.
I like that one. I liked Jordan Grace versus Stephanie. Do the men wrestle in this company? I don't think they do, actually. I don't know a single men's match in this company that's been good this year. And that's like for shoot. I know like I obviously prefer like women's wrestling, whatever. I don't what is the best men? If you tell me Vikingo versus Chad Gable, I swear to God, it probably is.
I'll look up the old match guide to see what are the best matches of this year.
I don't know. Like, I don't know a single one. All the world title matches are bad.
Okay, the best match of 2025 so far, according to Cage Match, and
TLC
according to was it TLC
on SmackDown?
Oh yes, the multi-man tables, ladders, and chair match.
That was
No
really
Sitting
good.
Machine Guns, Street Profits, and DIY.
Okay, I agree with that. That was really good.
9.34. Number 2 is the WrestleMania Triple Threat over the women's match, 9.24.
Yeah, that was really good. Okay, so they have one. Congratulations to the men of the WWE. They have one good match. But yeah, back to Becky and Lyra. I think their story's so great. I think Becky's so great. I don't know why people hate Becky so much, because she shuts them up every single time, and it's so entertaining. It's a shame that this was something I was thinking when the match was over, and maybe I can be wrong, but I don't think I am. It's a shame that her and Mercedes never got a bigger match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just watched them and like what they're able to do and elevate people around them, and it's like, man, they should have always, like, I love their Hell in a Cell match they had once upon a time. Like, that's the only match I remember of theirs, but that was great. I feel like they could have had like one of the biggest women's matches that company's seen, but they didn't know how to book Sasha Banks somehow, because they're bad. But yeah, no, this was awesome. Lyra Valkyria had the best showing I've ever seen from her, and Becky Lynch keeps being Becky Lynch. So eat it. That's a Hall of Famer right there, folks. You want to talk about the ballot, Ryan? You want to talk about the ballot for the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame? You want to see that list of modern wrestlers? There's no one that's more of a Hall of Famer to me than Becky Lynch. And she continues to shut people up along the way. Oh, the longevity's not there. Oh, well, she's pretty freaking good.
She is really good. I love Becky Lynch. She's so good at this.
She is. She's great. And Lyra Valkyria was good.
Like, this as not just a Lyra this is not just like a Becky Lynch like Hall of Fame, like cementing her legacy. At the same time, it is also creating a new star, developing her more as a wrestler, and making her even better in the ring through this feud. Because, like, how often, Scotty, it doesn't feel like we get these types of feuds, especially in WWE anymore, where you take like a certified like really great worker and put them with a younger star that you want to make something out of, and then just build a feud out of them wrestling and having great matches, so that the younger star can get better at wrestling and be a better star and be a bigger
what a freaking idea.
This is wrestling. This is what it should be.
This is what it should be. It's why Becky can do what she does. And it's why she can come back the way she did, because in the end, everyone has forgotten it. Like, everyone's like, Becky Hogan, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like watching this. It's like, who gives a shit? She's nailing it. Like, she saw the story she wanted and she's writing it. And Lyra's more over because of it. Like, her losing via, like, that's the other thing. She lost via roll up. It's like Becky still doesn't have like a certified top tier victory over Lyra Valkyria. That's the story remaining moving forward. And I think Becky Lynch as a heel is so good. This one, not, the big time Bex one wasn't, that was, very goofy, and like she was very clearly following like the steps of like Rollins, like, because they were playing off each other very naturally with the crazy. This is great. Becky's just being like, listen, I'm better than you all. Like, I don't know what you guys need from me.
Yeah. And building a match around like demanding respect.
Yeah. You will raise my hand.
Yeah. Great. It was great. I think if you wanted to add a stipulation to Evolution, WWE is going to want to try to do some sort of violent stipulation. Honestly, Scotty, best 2 out of 3 falls.
I agree.
Just do that.
That'd be great.
Do that.
Put that on Evolution.
Because Lyra can win one, Becky can win one, maybe for real or through a roll up holding some tights, and then you do the 3rd fall, and then that's simple and easy.
Yeah, and
That could be the main
hilarious.
event. That could be the main event of Evolution if they wanted to. I think it's earning
Absolutely.
it.
I think so too. I think your top 2 matches are Io and Rhea, and then Becky and Lyra. And honestly, like from there, the rest of the card doesn't matter. Like it's you're gonna have Nikki Bella in some match, good for her.
Mhm.
You're gonna have Tiffany Stratton, I'm sure, defending in some match.
Yep.
Who cares? Like not like these are the 2 things. The Raw Women's Division should just be the entire show.
We
Leave
got you.
SmackDown over there. You're gonna have like Charlotte versus Jade Cargill, like be the worst match of all time. Um, Meanwhile, Becky's doing what she's doing. It's like I can't believe people made this a conversation in this company ever. Like that's the thing I continuously go back to. Like I know people like do the overall horsewoman conversation. Let's just look at WWE and how they've always favored Charlotte over all 3 of them who are better. And it's like Becky's the funniest case because it's like Becky has been better every step of the way since Becky got a slight push.
Mhm.
It's just not like it's been night and day. And now when she's having the match against the young wrestler, which by the way, Charlotte did at WrestleMania, folks, that you might have forgot. And it's like again, night and day comparison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good on Becky, good on Lyra. This is great.
Let's move on. Men's Money in the
I
Bank
wanted to shut the show off there, by the way. I was like, I'm good.
Men's Hushberger in the chat. Best 2 out of 3 falls with 3 different stipulations:
Oh,
singles,
3
cage
stages of
fight, and
hell.
cage.
Don't do steel cage.
I don't know yet.
I'm cool with the other 2. Don't do steel cage.
Do steel cage, but you need the governor, Jesse Ventura, out there for the call.
Yeah, like I don't like WWE steel cage matches, so I would prefer. I don't mind like 3 stages of hell. I think that'd be a hell of a good. Oops. I think that'd be a fun match for those 2 because I think they're very creative. And for those who don't remember, the first Evolution, the best match was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, last woman standing, once upon a time. And I don't like last man standing matches, but I just trust Becky at this point. So
Yeah.
and always have. So yeah, men's Money in the Bank.
Seth Rollins picks up the win after 33 minutes and 35 seconds, defeating Andrade,
The
LA
correct
Knight,
winner.
Penta, Solo Sikoa, and El Grande Americano. The only other thing really of note during this match is, hey, look, Hunter, in this next documentary for WWE Unreal or whatever. Hey, Hunter, what's the idea? What's the big booking idea for Money in the Bank ladder match? Well, we're gonna have what's gonna happen during the match? How are we gonna produce this? Well, we're gonna do Jacob Fatu turns on Solo Sikoa. Jacob Fatu isn't in the match. How are we gonna get him? I don't know.
Easy.
5
Watch
to 10
this.
minutes of bringing in 4 people not in the match to then do some sort of story beat that doesn't really involve this in any capacity. Anyways, Sky, what do you think of the match?
It's fine, pretty good. I had no problems with it. It was exciting for some of it. The run-ins were fun because Braun Breaker's a psycho, and that man launches himself like no man should. Every single spear. Someone said like he was limping out, and I was like, yeah, I probably should. Like this guy doesn't like limit himself. He's in like dress pants, spearing people out of his freaking boots. Like I don't know what you expect here.
He's wearing dress shoes, it looked like.
My big takeaway, I was like, why the fuck isn't Braun Breaker in this match and winning it? I was like, that was my big thing. I was like, this is stupid. Can you imagine him with the briefcase and every minute he's just spearing the world champion? Like, I will pin you. I just don't feel like it right now. Like, I think that would have been a funny gimmick. But Seth Rollins is the correct winner, and that was the ultimate victory here. And I was like, I know Jey Uso is facing Gunther on Monday, but Seth Rollins should just cash in tonight. Save me from the Eat Boy, please.
Jey Uso again beats Gunther somehow and then gets cashed in by Seth Rollins.
Oh, brother. Seth Rollins, one of the 2 people win Money in the Bank twice.
Yeah,
No?
I think so.
CM Punk and him. I think that's it. I know Edge cashed in twice, but he didn't win the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yes,
twice.
he beat Mr. Kennedy for it, I want to say.
Yes, because Mr. Kennedy got suspended.
Mr. Kennedy.
Classic.
For,
Is it?
for some reason, I feel like Rob Van Dam won twice, but I know that's wrong.
He did not. I think it's just those two.
It might just be those two. See, another CM Punk Seth Rollins similarity. Is that what we're saying here?
That's exactly what I saw. But yeah, this was fine, and the right person won, and they should be ashamed that Chad Gable is not just Chad Gable, based on what I watched earlier in the day, and then I had to see him do this, and I'm like, what are we doing?
CM Punk won it back to back, and then nobody. Seth Rollins, Sheamus,
ain't nobody.
Carmella. Are we gonna count Carmella as winning it twice?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think that's what we're doing here. Brock Lesnar, Otis, Nikki Ash. Remember that? Remember Nikki Ash? God, these Money in the Bank winners suck. At a certain point, it just sucks. Remember Theory? Remember Austin?
Oh yeah, that was great. Triple H came into power. It's like, you're cashing on the U.S. title and losing, buddy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think it's literally CM Punk and Seth Rollins have both won it twice now.
There you go. Good for that. I know a lot of people are making the joke like this week the company's down every time Seth Rollins is at the top, but like the men's side of things, that's the only interesting thing right now.
So do you think it's him catching in for that world heavyweight title, the Jey Uso Yeet belt, or do you think this is the route to untangle Cody and Cena and try to do that?
I think he's just gonna cash it on Jey Uso and save us all.
Save us Y2J?
No.
Save _us dot Y2J.
No one wants Y2J back. Anywhere.
Are there any memorable spots? Talking about like the philosophy of what these matches should be. Was there any memorable spots?
LA Knight hitting the twisting backdrop suplex to, was that Andrade?
I think so.
That was fucked. like I watched that when they did the twist. I was like, oh, that is not what I would have done.
I thought they like just fell. It was like perfect,
yeah, so like they did it. That was really good. That was a really good spot. Like, because obviously it's like simple of like, we're just gonna do a back suplex, but like it looked nasty. How
do we feel about the fireball? The implication of ads. I believe it was Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful that said literally like WWE's goal right now is that if there's a blank canvas, they want to put an ad on it.
Yeah, it's like Vince is like dying and he's what is it? What do they say? Like he's rolling over or something or whatever, but he's not actually dead.
I would say rotting in his jail cell, but not yet.
No, not yet.
Allegedly.
Hey, yeah. See, I don't have a problem with it on ladders for some reason, because I feel like ladders, like it kind of makes sense. Like you put them on the thing. When they put it on the tables, yeah, no, that pisses me off for some reason. I don't know why the difference is for me.
Are you ready for chairs?
That would be extra worse.
A big fucking Snickers logo.
That would be bad. Like I don't know why. Like I saw the Slim Jim one on the table, and they didn't do it on this show, so maybe it's just like selective for some reason. Because obviously they only have one ladder with it on it, so like I don't know why.
I thought they had two ladders on it, because I thought I saw Jacob Fatu.
They might have.
I thought
he broke it too.
Yeah, I thought I saw Jacob Fatu throw the fireball ladder in the corner, and then like
they might have
connecting arm.
They probably did just in case, because they had to
case.
win with that win with that one, right?
Yes.
So like I don't have a problem with it on ladders. I don't know why. That was like the one takeaway. I was like, anything else is probably gonna piss me off. With the ladder, I was like, whatever. I don't know why. I have no good reason of like, why does this not bother me? But it bothers me on everything else. Like on the table, I think because it's a table just with a fucking logo taped onto it. And I think
it's such a terrible placement of that logo, too.
Right? Like the fireball one, at least like it's part of a design and it doesn't matter. That's just, let's slap a logo on it. It's like, man, I can slap a logo on some things too. That doesn't mean it's official branding. Like,
Yeah,
like give me the count out logo real quick. Let me just go slap it on a pencil.
I can send it to you.
I I don't have a pen. I don't have a pencil to slap it onto. Next
My
week I'm gonna have
apologies.
like a pencil. It wouldn't be able to read. Whatever. That's not the point. You took it too extreme. Move on.
Yeah. I guess the other talking point is that we do have the turn of Jacob Fatu on Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, good for him. He's awesome.
You're talking about Solo Sikoa, of course, right?
Fuck yeah. Solo Sikoa was hilarious in this match. This guy, I don't know what unlocked in him. He is so funny. Doing that, and then like, what was the other thing he did? Oh, the LA Knight thing. He was like,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy's killing me. I was like, if Solo Sikoa got to be personality all the time, I probably would have got care about his push, but he never gets to do this. Like, what a silly, goofy guy.
Yeah.
Like, hilarious. I was like,
Yeah.
this guy is out of his mind. Every single time he hit someone, he made fun of their like thing, and I was like, yeah, we need more of that. I was like, I don't know why Solo Sikoa is the one to do it, but that's fine. No, Jacob Fatu is a big star, and people love that he's now a baby face. He did the pop-up Samoan drop to Bronson Reed, and I lost my mind. And he hates Solo Sikoa, which, hey, for a long time, I did too. Now I don't care.
Little hokey of a turn to just like
Oh,
settle up, do the
Big time.
mess up the ladder orientation for
Oh,
the
yeah.
exact spot you need to do in the exact moment
Big
on
time.
camera.
But though, again, Solo is hilarious because like all Fatu does is grab his leg, and Solo's like,
so I was like, why am I not moving?
Why am I not going? Then he looks down. He's like, "What are you doing?"
So campy and over the top. But for whatever reason, Solo Sikoa makes it work.
I know. Solo Sikoa, the greatest comedy wrestler we never knew.
I thought they just hired back R-Truth.
Yeah, no shit. They're switching. Solo Sikoa is taking over the comedy.
R-Truth, the leader of the bloodline. Finally.
Yeah, Solo was like the highlight of this. I don't think I remember a single movie did, but boy, oh boy, do I remember his goofiness. That was worth it. I was watching. So when the entrances happened and LA Knight got a big pop, I was like, "What are we doing? Why are you still getting big pop? Like, come on! I know he's like better than Joe Hendry. Like, I know that, but like, come on, what are we doing?" Yeah, that's it.
And then the main event, the tag team main event, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defeat John Cena and Logan Paul, of course, with the help of the returning Ron Killings. This was fine. I went like too flat. I think it was like better than what we've gotten previous in here. I think I mentioned that in terms of our preview. It was just like, hey, look, this match could be better because it's a tag match, so we get to hide John Cena a little bit because sadly, John Cena's last year, retirement year, has not been great in ring. So we get to hide a little bit. And I think they did a good job. I mean, there was again a little hokey of a spot. I liked the breakdown of Logan Paul and Cena with how that was being done, but then to just like have that end with them yelling at each other and pushing each other for just too long, and Jey Uso selling for too long, and then finally getting the hot tag. That was a weak way to get to the hot tag, I thought. But I like the breakdown. I like John Cena slapping Logan Paul so much in the back that the sweat flies off. That was great.
Yeah.
Do that more, John Cena, but to like other people.
The funny thing about Cena is sometimes you see like the flashes of like what a heel turn could be in like any other time. It's like, man, he could have been great at this. Not in his fucking last year when his body shot and he clearly just wanted to be John Cena.
If the in-ring was there, then this heel turn could have maybe been better.
His body shot. Like, and he's been honest about that. I watched that and like him talking about not being able to like lift anymore. I was like, man, now I'm sad. I was like, that kind of sucks. Like, you never think about that because he's John Cena, right? Superhuman, all that stuff, and it's like, all right, he is like old now and can't do that. I would like to ask him, like, is there a reason that he can't tan? Like, does all his movies,
last time?
I know, but I have to ask again. Like, is there like I understand the hair is part of like his movie stuff, so that's why he doesn't have like the old haircut or whatever. I'm pretty sure people would prefer if you were tan in Hollywood, but that's just me. No, I know you said it last time. I wanted to bring it up again. But yeah, this
Just
was
to get a
fun.
spray. Just get a quick little spray. I don't get it.
I had no problem with the match. I will give credit to Logan Paul. I don't like to do that, but I will. That moonsault was crazy.
Yeah.
That was absolutely nutty. And shout out R-Truth one more time.
Yeah, I thought the work here was like complete. Like I went like too flat.
It reminded me of the Bloodline tags.
Sure.
Basic, a lot of heat early, big moves, and run in at the end.
Yeah. It was the end certainly picked up a little bit more for me. But ultimately it was like I couldn't necessarily get into it just because of what the situation surrounding John Cena is right now. It was what it was. Like I said, I went too flat. Fine. Am I excited? I guess to go back to the earlier conversation, how are you feeling? We are at the halfway point basically of the John Cena retirement tour. Let's do a quick sort of like vibe check on this retirement tour so far. How are we feeling about it? I guess we've kind of already been talking about it for the past several months, but I guess what I'm saying is we both don't like it. How do we fix it? What do we do? What do we need to do to fix this? How can we turn this around?
You just let him be John Cena.
The babyface John Cena?
Yeah. Get the title off him, let him be John Cena.
Do that for the next several months.
Yep. He could literally say, guys, I'm sorry the next day, and it'd be fine. Like, that's how simple of a fix this could be, because no one cares. They just want to cheer for John Cena.
Not a great solution, but I brought it up earlier. You could have nasty heel Seth Rollins take the title from Cena because you need a heel, right, for that babyface.
Sure.
So why not just use a nasty heel Seth Rollins? Then you got Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and then you can do like Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Cena or something teaming up to take on those teams.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna need a top heel for that for Cody. I don't know who that's gonna be when John Cena's done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gonna be Seth, just based on him being on Raw with the world title and stuff. And I know like the brands don't matter until they do. I think it would be better just to go with that, work towards Cody and Seth because that's bigger, but I don't think they're going to do that. So they're going to have to find a new heel, and I don't know who that is.
Who's the top heel on SmackDown?
John Cena.
Is John Cena on SmackDown? I feel like it was on
Raw. That's the only show he's on now. But if you want to like ask like actual wrestler that's there,
yeah.
Kevin Owens is hurt, Drew McIntyre's hurt, so that's tough.
Solo? Is it Solo Sikoa?
It might be Solo Sikoa.
Oof.
Not even slightly kidding. Which oof. Yeah, I'm looking at the roster. They have no one else. It's just those. Their two top heels are both injured.
Yikes!
Because they were the top heels. Obviously, they're not anymore. Yeah,
they're gonna quickly make a guy. I guess R-Truth does buy them a little bit more time to make some more top heels. But they
Raw has obviously Seth, Breaker, and Reed as their thing.
Top faction heel thing.
Yep. Gunther, they have Gunther. They could switch Gunther over, face Cody.
Yeah.
That'd probably be smart.
That'd be a smart decision.
That's it. They don't have a lot of heels, man. That's why they did the thing with Cena, and it's stupid. Logan Paul, technically, too.
Yeah. I
El
think
Grande Americano.
I guess that I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's wrong as him being top heel. I guess what we're saying is that like we would both like them to go back to babyface Cena, but the only real person to really do that with as another heel would probably be Seth, and that's kind of it.
I'm looking at NXT like,
you could do Gunther, but you could do Gunther, but I don't think Gunther has weirdly enough cachet for that.
No, I just went to NXT like, oh, can they call someone up? No. The answer is unless they called up Oba Femi as a heel. Otherwise,
no.
Nope.
Yeah. Tough stuff for this retirement run.
They got a lot of baby faces, though.
A lot of baby faces. Can't deny the baby faces.
Oh God, Dominic. That's my bad. He's probably I guess he's kind of a baby face now too. I don't know.
He's already got a title. I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily matter if you.
God, whatever. Who cares?
Worlds Collide. This was the joint show with WWE and AAA in the Kia Forum.
I had a joint watching this show.
A very extremely dark Kia Forum. I've never seen the Kia Forum this dark for a show.
They made it look different. Like this show did not feel like a WWE show all the time. Sometimes it did.
Yeah. It was quite dark. This show. But that's
I never want to give him credit, but I'm going to give him credit. I'm going to give Corey Graves a little credit here. He knew a lot of things on this show. Meanwhile, also having to deal with Conan.
You could see him like hitting Conan every once in a while. Like, okay, now you.
Like, dude, go. I thought Corey Graves did probably as good as he could. I also think he's actually a better play-by-play guy than he is the other thing he does.
I'm glad you brought this up in our long-standing conversation about commentary. I also thought Corey Graves was really good here. Now,
cool.
He had a lot to explain and to do,
which I was impressed by.
He did have some fuck-ups. I think at one point he said that the
emerald erosion.
Yes, was it emerald erosion?
Will not forget it.
I think there was something else he said wrong, like right before that. I forget what it was. I mean, there's also Conan saying Conan at one point. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's wrong in terms of like Mexico.
Michael Cole would have called it a side slam.
Yeah. So. At one point, like I think Conan said that like Dr. Wagner Jr. popularized the dragon screw, and I was like, in Mexico, that could be right, but you didn't say in Mexico. You just said he popularized the move, and I'm like. Tatsumi Fujinami, brother. the guy's name was the Dragon. The guy's nickname is the Dragon. Is that gay? What are we talking about here? Anyways, Worlds Collide. I thought this was a good show overall. I thought this was a really solid show overall. Definitely weird vibes. You know, if you're looking for a classic non-Americanized Lucha Libre show, this wasn't really it. Much to Conan's despair, dismay, rather. Much as
Trevor Dave nailed it. You did not get the AAA experience. The show was decent.
It started on time. It was decent.
Started on time. Didn't have Alberto Del Rio. Didn't have Latin Lover.
It didn't have the heel referee anywhere. It didn't have tag ropes. We were using tag ropes all night. No lucha rules.
Best AAA show I've seen in years.
And really, I guess what we're coming at is that best AAA show in recent years for sure. But at the end of the day, this is basically just the WWE show with AAA wrestlers on it.
Yeah. Authentic Lucha Libre, as Rey Mysterio told me.
Okay, we have to talk about that. Rey Mysterio comes out, and it sucks, Scotty, that Rey Mysterio is the guy that's saying this. But coming out and saying that WWE has now given the seal of authenticity to Lucha Libre. What are we talking about here? Rey Mysterio, a guy that made Lucha Libre famous without the WWE system.
You know what I got to say about that?
Yeah, baby. Mystico holding the CLL flag. Yeah, baby. And yeah, the rewriting of like Mexican Lucha Libre, even like AAA history of being like, yeah, U.S. wrestling, Lucha Libre U.S. wrestling was invented or started with Worlds Collide in '94. It's like, no, it was here. And like Cubs fan was like, yeah, it was on like its dying days of popularity when Worlds Collide happened. Like CMLL has had a monopoly forever. We're AAA's the underdogs. It's like, yeah, what about UWA? That like beat out.
There's not a better combination of rewriting history than Conan and WWE.
I fully agree.
Like, shouts out to CMLL. That's what I said like 10 times during the show. I was like, holy shit. I am grateful for that. I'll just do this one for the love of the game. Shouts out to the boys. This God, who cares? I mean, here's the thing. Lucha Libre as a whole is not in a better position because of this sale. AAA is though. By a lot, because Alberto Del Rio lost the world title immediately. They were like,
and they're about to have money that they haven't had in
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the thing with me in this show that I found it to be an easy watch.
Yep.
It didn't feel like full WWE, which was nice. The presentation was just overall, I thought, better than the overly produced WWE version. It was still overly produced. But I thought it was a fun show for the most part. Funny that AAA lost every match. I know they won too, but they lost every match. All the good AAA wrestlers lost. Like all the meaningful ones.
We talked about who was going to win or lose, and we said
Yeah.
that like, oh yeah, the team of Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown have to win.
I guess not all the meaningful ones lost, but yeah, that one match was like, hello, like what are we doing? Why are we losing here? But I thought both trios matches were fun. I don't need to do a match by match thought process here. Dalise is really bad. Need to stress that. One of the funniest parts was like Conan be like, I'm shocked Lola Vice is doing good. She wasn't trained in Lucha Libre. I was like, buddy, the wrestlers you're rooting for here are terrible. Like it doesn't take much. Like Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquera wrestling circles around them, and Lola Vice has wrestled for 2 years.
Yeah.
What is this point that you're trying to make? That match was not good. Stephanie Vaquera did everything in her power. Could not save it.
I thought the 4-way was really fun. I thought the main event was great.
Yeah, the main event was awesome. I was watching that and I was like, Viking. So here's my official take on Vikingo, everyone. Boy, was I right about Masquerade Dorada. Gotta get that out of the way. But Vikingo is a lot slower now. He's clearly like slow. Like that's not a WWE thing. I know this. I've seen him wrestle since he's come back once or twice, and he's been slower. I was wondering, did that speed come back? No. But he can still do the crazy ass flips. So in the end, does it matter? No.
Well, like it kind of matters because then at the very end of the match, remember he like re-hurts his knee.
Oh yeah, and then he still did his shit though, which is crazy. I was like, how are you still doing? All right. But yeah, him and Chad Gable were great. Chad Gable, this guy's awesome.
Underrated. Underrated, I've heard.
Oh, I know. That the power bomb off the top was crazy.
The moonsault off the top through the table.
That was nuts. He's awesome, and I'm watching him. And I'm like, why is he not like world champion? Jey Uso is. Like, why does he have to do the 2 gimmick thing? Why is not someone like that's not good have to do that? Yeah, I like Chad Gable a lot. I was happy he was in the main event here. Him and Vikingo had a great match. Like you said, the 4-way was a lot of fun. I like the trios matches. The women's match was the only bad one, but I mean, kind of expected. Dalise was in it. So yeah.
There was about, I believe, 10 AAA wrestlers in this thing. Octagon Jr., Aerostar, Mr. Iguana,
Mr. Iguana is the most over wrestler of all time, by the way.
Yeah, look, if we're gonna look at other compare AAA to other partnerships that WWE have, I can't wait to see Mr. Iguana become the AAA Mid-God champion moving forward.
Mr. Iguana versus Randy Orton in next year's WrestleMania is going to be incredible.
It's going to be lit. Viper versus Iguana. I mean, come on, writes itself. Anyways, there were 10 wrestlers. Those 3, Cheek Tormenta, not Chica, but Cheek Tormenta, Dallas, Dr. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, Psycho Clown, Laredo Kid, and Viking.
Psycho Clown's still good, by the way. Mm-hmm. That made me very happy.
He was very good. It was still. I was like, this guy's been pushed in AAA forever, and he's still very good.
He's only 39, but I was,
Pagano, not as much. not as good.
No, Pagano's bad, but like, listen, I'll give him this. Still taking his bumps.
So my question for you is, that's 10 people. This, to a certain degree, is you're exposing AAA and whatever this Americanized version of Lucha Libre to American audiences through this, and that's a separate conversation of whether or not the show we think is maybe successful in that. But more specifically, when it comes to the wrestlers, Not only do we want to see them as maybe through the light of successful and getting over to the WWE audience, Mr. Iguana obviously nailed that on the head, but also who do you think of the WWE system, which of those 10 wrestlers would you take? If you had to continue and build this out, who would you really want to push and really want to continue things with of those 10 wrestlers you saw?
Obviously Mr. Iguana.
Number one of a bullet.
El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Vikingo.
Of those 4, was it 4? Right, 4?
Yeah, 4 out of the 10.
Yeah, I guess I would take Octagon Jr. just as well because he had the Dominic thing.
Yeah,
and that's 5. I mean, everyone else, you're saying no to, not necessarily no, but downplaying Aerostar, Cheek Tormenta, Dallas, Pagano, and Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. That guy.
Hey, I'm happy for him. You got to take another pin.
They'll probably push Cheek Tormenta or Dallas or something just because of the women's wrestling thing with WWE.
Will they?
I say thing, like it's just what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
they want to push women's wrestling as the next big thing.
Lola Vice is going to win the women's title.
That is accurate. Another thing of note is that they showcased Masquerita Sangrada. I love Masquerita Sangrada. They talked about how they might show up the minis eventually. Didn't say anything about the Exoticos. Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, everybody. So that's what that is. And then, was the show a success? Do you think this will build out and create new AAA fans? Will there a bunch of people diving into Triple Mania Regia in like a week's time?
I don't know. Will it air? That's the real question. Will that show air somewhere that people can dive in? That was the funny part about them presenting it. I was like, yeah, but where can I watch it?
That's a great point.
Tell me.
Currently, the YouTube video, the live stream, 2.4 million views is where we're at right now.
Oh shit!
I don't know what you want to call as a success.
I would probably call that a success.
Hard to compare with everything else behind Peacock numbers and all that stuff, but that feels strong. The Spanish stream had 1.4 million views. If you want to look at that. So this was 100%, showcasing themselves to. This is showcasing. I guess that's a good thought process. Is this actually showcasing AAA to WB fans or WWE to AAA fans? I think it's the latter.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd say so.
Because if you're WWE, you're really trying to get into Mexico. It doesn't really matter. You already have a stronghold in WWE. You want to get into Mexico. So really, if we're looking at that 1.4 million views of the Spanish stream, I don't know. Is that good? I don't know if it doesn't really feel good, but it's hard to compare without the rest of the numbers, I guess. I'm sure WrestleNomics might have some sort of info or data analysis thing about it later. So I guess everyone be on the lookout for that. But that's Worlds Collide. The main event was really solid. Semi-main event, I thought was really good. I thought, it was a 4-way, but I thought, what the heck is it? Ethan Page flying all over the place is actually really good. He had to put a solid effort into the match. I think it was not as good and historic and great as the 94 Worlds Collide show, which is what they were trying to go for. But I did think it was, solid enough for what it was, Scotty.
Yeah, definitely. I think solid enough is a good word for it.
Solid enough, especially for the workers of AAA versus the workers of AAA in 94. The all-time legendary wrestlers.
Yeah, now.
Dynamite Fyter Fest took place, Denver, Colorado, Mission Ballroom, 2,500 in attendance. Looked sold out or something, but I don't know. Big time show. Obviously, it ended up being a 4-hour affair with Collision. Less of an important show to talk about. There was some things on there, but ultimately Dynamite was a bigger show. Yeah, like we said, if you wanted to complain about the 4 hours before, get ready because you're going to get it again this Wednesday for Summer Blockbuster. I didn't think about it, but we should maybe also preview that a little bit, Scotty. And then a week later, we get Grand Slam Mexico. So big time winner for you and I with Grand Slam Mexico.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I don't care about all this other stuff.
Dynamite Fyter Fest had some big matches. John Moxley defeats Mark Briscoe. Mina Shirakawa and Tony Storm defeats Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, and Commander defeat Dralistico, Roosh, and the Beast Mortos. Powerhouse Hobbs defeats Max Caster. And then Kenny Omega defeats Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli, and Mascara Dorada in the main event to retain the AEW International title 4-way match. Great match, by the way, for that one there. We also got a bunch of other tidbits, like the big news coming out of it, which is really from Collision, that is official. All in Texas is going to be Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. Scotty, thoughts on that match officially happening in Texas?
Oh, no, my big takeaway was I'm sorry to the English British fans of AEW, because holy shit, Tony Khan did not care about your all-ins compared to this one. That was my big takeaway. Was that match, like, once I saw that graphic, I was like, oof. Tough couple of years for them. They got Adam Cole and MJF. They got Bryan Danielson last year. That was cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not even a contest. It's not even like in the same conversation.
3 massive matches announced already for that.
Pretty surreal to see the thing. I was like, I did say to myself, I always wondered what that graphic would look like in a WrestleMania form, and I was like, I know it now. It looks exactly like that. It feels massive though, which is good. I have my critiques about Mr. Okada and America and such, but it's still huge, and I like that they made it a major announcement. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Like, hey, by the way, this is kind of a big deal. It's like, yeah, it is. It's exciting. It's an exciting build to a match, because it's like, what do they look like now? Right? What does it look like now, and where do we go? What level can they reach in
how long can the match be, was my first thought.
That's always worrying. What level can this make it to? That's my big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I can't base anything off of like how Dave rates it. Like, I already know it has 5 stars at least. Like, that doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know what the peak of this match can be, but I'm excited to see it. And I think everyone's obviously excited to see it. It's Okada and Omega. Like, you'd be wrong to think otherwise.
Yeah, it is a historic rivalry in terms of match quality as well. You have to give it the match its time, right? You have to do that. The level is going to be diminished, but they're, presumably it's that sort of thing that people talk about every once in a while. Talk about it for like any other sport, of like the physical capabilities of an athlete versus the mental capabilities of an athlete. And there's always, it's just sort of this, at whatever point of the angle goes, but there is this cross section, which is like their peak, whatever their mental and athletic capabilities align, but then they cross.
Yep.
With guys who are like Hall of Fame wrestlers, it's really hard to figure out exactly where their physical abilities have peaked. I think we're both.
Kenny's definitely did.
Yeah, Kenny's did. Okada probably did. We're probably on the other side, but it's still very strong. It's still
we're 7 years removed from the last time these two faced off.
Yeah, and they're still. I mean, at least if Kenny Omega is still putting out great matches, right?
Yeah, I mean, Okada Kenny just doesn't feel like it. Like,
Kenny Omega had a 5-star match already this year.
Right. Like, I'm not. I mean, Okada had one last year at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, good point.
Like, it's not like. Again, that's not the part I'm worried about. I'm not worried about anything. It's like, I know they're gonna have a great match, and it's awesome to see them face off one more time. Which is how I actually would have sold it, but I understand why you wouldn't, just in case you want to go back to the well. But the first, and I think should be only time in America in a stadium, very fitting. Obviously, it was supposed to happen 6 years ago in America. That did not happen. So yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. It is as big as it feels, and you have 3 massive matches for All In. It literally does not matter what else you put on the card.
Other things that happen on Fyter Fest, we get some more stuff with Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland at the top of the show. Just a little promo-y stuff with Will Ospreay. We also have some Hurt Syndicate stuff with MJF and Will Ospreay, and then some Hurt Syndicate stuff where they're looking for challengers and whatnot. MJF laid out a challenge. Looks to be like against Mystico, which is notable for this show.
Oh my
because
God.
We all know Mystico, the love of Mystico on this show versus the hatred of MJF. And based off of all the previews, Mystico has a special singles match this Wednesday at Summer Blockbuster. Really feels like we're getting Mystico versus MJF in Arena Mexico.
Like, come on. Like, are you kidding me? This I can't explain how much this like disappointed me. I was just like, really? Like, you couldn't pick anyone else. You could have picked Moxley, who I can't stand. Like, that's at this stage because it's not MJF. I can't like MJF is bad. Don't like him. Can't stand him. Don't watch his segments. And now he's taking my Mystico match. You have this entire roster of incredible talent, and you go with MJF. Are you kidding me?
You need a big star to be the devil's advocate. You need a big star that can lose.
Star. MJF's a loser. Who cares about him? And I don't care. Like, I know he's the Twitter guy that gets on. It's like, oh, you have stupid hair. Yeah, great job, great gimmick, buddy. Like, get out of here. Oh my God, I'm so sick of this guy. And now he's taking the Mystico match. The Mystico match. I know it's like not the main event or whatever, and it's gonna be awesome when I'm like, haha, you lost a lot of Mystico. But like, what if he doesn't? What if he wins? I will lose my shit.
It's not unlikely. I feel like
I'm pretty confident Mystico is winning. You know why I'm pretty confident Mystico is winning? Because Mystico don't lose, baby. But like,
especially in Arena Mexico.
I know. So like, I'm not too worried about that. But why is it him? Like, I knew you couldn't do Ospreay, even though he loses all the time. I know you couldn't do like Swerve or like something great. But why? Why MJF? And here's the worst part. I know the heat's going to be great. I know that. And listen, the match will probably be fine, But why? Why him? Why for my guy? And before you ask, who else would you have picked? Anyone. You could have just did hologram and had a cool match, man.
I would have picked Ospreay because Ospreay would lose anyways.
That would have been fine. Like, Takeshita. You're not doing anything. Like,
Fletcher.
Fletcher, perfect. That's literally perfect. Because Fletcher can lose, right? It's not against the grain here. Oh my God. But listen, I will give them this. I would do
Mystico versus Adam Cole and have Mystico win the TNT title. That's what I would do.
Great point. You're cooking there. There is the side effect like, oh, I understand there's going to be a lot of heat, and that'll probably get me into the match. But like, this is my guy, and this is the match you pick. Brother, you're hurting me. The only good thing is like Mystico has good matches the rest of the week, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a great week in wrestling. We'll talk more about that next week.
Great match. He's not wrestling on the Tuesday show. He has a great match on the Friday show. So
other things that happened on here is that we saw Ricochet.
Why not Ricochet? I understand. Ricochet loses too. Ricochet could have got the heat. Are you kidding me? Ricochet and Mystico?
That's actually that's a great shout. Why not?
That would have been perfect. Him losing in Arena Mexico does not hurt him. Yeah. It would have added to his character of like, I didn't tap out. MJF.
We saw Ricochet scouting for more talent based on the thing. I'm going to assume Lee Johnson, especially since his tag partner in Ring of Honor got the boot. Ty Mello also returned. All of that leads us to.
Got the boot.
What's that?
Blake Christian got the boot.
Oh no, yeah, he has new tag partners. Well, Blake Christian's probably going to be part of the team. I meant
EJ and Duca.
Yeah, EJ and Duca, but I forgot that he started teaming with Blake Christian. God, but it's gonna be my God, Ricochet, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson.
Show some love. Oh, Ricochet.
I don't want to miss a chance. You can. That all leads us to Summer Blockbuster this Wednesday. We don't have the Collision side of the card. I assume some of these matches will be on Collision. But what we have here so far: Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, and Commander versus MJF, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. Mystico.
I'll show you some Jet Speed, brother.
Mystico versus the special singles. Kyle Fletcher versus Anthony Bowens. Tekla versus Queen Aminata. Tony Storm versus Julia Hart. Megan Bain and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay and Ty Mello. And a big time match here, Scotty. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah, it's funny. Just a toss on a show. So I got a few thoughts about this. First one, I thought there was a really funny thing as I checked Twitter throughout Wednesday night. And originally at the beginning of the show, like, why is Queen Aminata not like get anything? And then the moment she was out there for Tekla, I was like, well, you had to ask. You had to ask. Like,
I think we talked about like who would be facing Tekla. We're like Queen Aminata, of course.
Oh yeah, that's what they do. Queen Aminata goes out there to make the new debutee look good. She does. Yeah, this is a show. This is not. I mean, it has Swerve and Ospreay, so like obviously that's great, and has Mystico versus someone, so that's cool. And the trios match should be pretty fun. Julia Hart, huh?
Julia Hart versus Tony Storm.
We're gonna keep doing this Julia Hart thing.
Do you think I'm noticing a lot of women's matches?
There's hope. No.
Do you think all these women's matches got added on because
all these women's matches? You mean 3?
People online got upset with only one women's match happening on Dynamite, or what it was.
I think only one is going to be on Dynamite again, so it doesn't matter. Come on, you know it. Like, I'm sorry, maybe they'll squeeze Tekla and Queen Aminata on there because it's a squash. No offense to Queen Aminata, makes me sad, but that's just the reality we live in. Yeah, for sure. I had a good joke because again, reading the comments throughout that show, and I saw TK as he was announced. I was like, yeah, he's going to announce the women's divisions no more.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Jesus.
I'm here all week, folks.
I'm sure some of this will be on Collision, but really I'm looking at Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. That should be a genuinely good match.
I would like to say I'm happy for Tay Mello. Cool to see her back.
Agreed.
Some people, me, remember she returned in January in Stardom. And obviously she took more time, which is cool, but
she had to be in the oven, I guess, just a little bit longer, just in the kitchen, just a little,
cook it up a little bit longer,
a little more seasoning.
But hey, I mean, this show is about Swerve versus Ospreay, and that's all that matters. Come on. I was shocked to see the graphic. I was like, huh? Come again? You said to me in a back-to-back tweet or back-to-back message, you're like, I'm pretty sure Mystico is facing MJF in Arena Mexico. I was like, shut the fucking company down. This sucks. And you're like, oh, by the way, Swerve and Ospreay also wrestling next week. I was like, all right, I guess we can keep it open.
Reopen the company.
Reopen the company. I'm not going to say no to those two facing off. But it's, to me, very clearly going to end with a no finish.
Yeah, I think that's a match where the Young Bucks get involved, because I think ultimately All in Texas we're leading towards Swerve and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks.
Does that, I'm not going to say move you. Obviously, the match will be great.
Yeah.
But do you think that's enough for those two?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. You know, the rest of the card,
I can't give you a better booking for them. So
I think right now the two of them are big stars that should be in like world title programs, but sadly, like, you know, everyone else is busy. And I like what the other matches are. Like, I like Omega Okada, and I
absolutely
like
you wouldn't mess up the other two.
Yeah, I'm so happy with what else we're getting that like, oh, where are we gonna put them in? What slot do we have them in? Having them tag against the Young Bucks. Okay, great. That sounds like a perfectly great other match for them.
The only thing I would have considered was literally just doing this match at that show.
Sure.
You know, like that would be the only other option to me for them. So yeah, no, I have no problem with it because Hangman's not the one in the tag and he's in the world title match. So that's all I wanted.
With this feud, it does definitely feel like it would have been Swerve Hangman versus the Young Bucks. It definitely feels like we were
smart. It was a smart pivot.
I agree. Talk about the pivots. Talk about the pivot of all pivots.
Oh yeah, thank God. Yeah, I mean, I think that's an incredible big four. I don't know if you can.
I mean,
you can really fight that.
I was gonna say, what else are we adding to that show? Probably Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR reuniting for the first time in I don't know, decade, something like that. Decade plus.
Is it in bad spirit to say not Athena?
She's starting the feud with Thunder Rosa, so that will probably be the Ring of Honor show.
The Ring of Honor show. Dear God. Oh my God! But Julia Hart's on TV. God bless. Julia Hart was TBS champion. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. What else do you put on this? I mean, we just mentioned 5 matches.
Yeah, that. I could see them actually hold out on the Edge one because all outs in Toronto.
Ooh, that's a great call.
That feels like the place they'd want to do that. I think Edge will be on this show. I could see them hold out on him and Christian together until that because they'll need something big, and that's something added to whatever the world title match is, obviously. So I think that's what they'll do. Give me the Ops versus
Ops. Just I don't know, Death Riders. I don't know.
Ops versus Takeshita, Fletcher, and
Hechicero.
One of the other guys. Yeah, sure, why not?
Josh Alexander, really, I guess, would be the third.
Yeah, that match would rule. Right? Darby Allin will face someone, I'm sure.
Sure.
Darby Allin versus
Ricochet?
Fuck yeah. I'm in.
Baby.
I'm in.
Let's get Mystico on the show. Mystico versus Darby.
I couldn't agree. Hold on. You might lose that one. Easy. We don't have Mystico losing. No, it'd be really cool if they did like a match on this show that was bringing in the Forbidden Door aspects for like a preview tag.
Sure.
So like CMLL versus New Japan versus AEW.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
Sure. Like a three-way tag.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Why not? Give me Speedball and Jet Speed. Jet Speed.
I was gonna pitch Jet Speed for the tag titles. They gotta do something. It hurts that they could have to do something on the show.
Yeah, no, I'm there. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
that works for me. Okay, so do Jet Speed there, and then you can do
Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes.
No. I knew that was coming too. Give me.
Well, look, if Ricochet,
give me Los Tiantes, Dale, who I love. Don't know why we got rid of them. I know they still exist, but like I don't know where they went. They were like the best part of Collision for like a month. Give me them versus Mystico and Dorada versus.
I'll even take like Well, if Mystico's busy with Darby, then I'll take Neon and Dorada.
Yeah, right. Give me El Sky Team. There, we'll keep it basic.
Yeah.
For the purpose of the conversation.
Yeah.
Give me El Sky Team, and then for New Japan, give me FWC because I don't want to see a New Japan tag team. Thank you.
You're incorrect, Scotty. We all know what the correct answer is here. It's El Sky Team, Los Tiantes Del Air, Evil and Sonata.
Now hold on. we might be cooking actually.
Give me House of Torture. Why not? Fuck it.
I'm not gonna say no.
I do think that would work though, if all the Lucha Libre guys in there and then House of Torture doing their shit.
Or you can just do like Hiromu and Shingo.
Yeah.
You know, keep it simple. Or do Teton and Hiromu. Oh, what? So it's a lucha match with Hiromu.
Yeah, why not? That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome. Do it on the pre-show. That's what I mean. Like, put that on the pre-show.
It's a big show in Texas. It does feel like you should do some sort of CMLL involvement. So yeah, I'm for it.
I think that would be fun. And I want it. And yeah, Allen's gonna be great. I'm actually very excited for this show. Literally don't care what's added, honestly, from this point forward. I'm sold.
Everything else is gravy, I think, at this point.
Yeah, here's the real booking. What's the second women's match?
I was thinking about that the entire time, and I do not know.
You don't got one, because there's not one that like for me, I would have done like Jamie Hayter versus, or like Willow versus.
It'd be like Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. Well, that's what they left off.
No, I know. I've just remembered.
But why is Willow doing nothing? Hold on.
Because that's what this company is.
Okay. You could do Jamie Hayter and Tekla, but what is this the point? It does
Willow versus Chris. 10?
No, well, yes. But we are circling, and we've been circling this for months.
Tag titles.
Yeah. Is this the point? This is the perfect opportunity. We have no idea what else to put women's matches on the show, other than like Tekla versus Jamie Hayter. Is this the point you unveil the women's tag titles in this company? You could do Willow and Chris versus Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, right?
Willow and Chris really are Mercedes and Bailey. Like, holy shit. You're just pointing out they are them from WWE back in the day. They refused to get pushed to the right level. So, hey, what if we made you guys a tag team? And what if we introduced tag titles? That is literally what they did with those two.
Yeah.
That being said, let's do it.
Yeah, I think, and obviously, I think, heel Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I think that's probably the move, and that's what you got to do.
All right, hear me out here.
Okay.
You can do a 3-way tag. You can do Megan Bayne and Penelope, right? You can do Chris and Willow, and you can do Mina and Mariah. Can't do that.
Okay, no, I got a 3-way tag. You got Willow and Chris.
Probably just going to be Tay Mello.
You got Willow and Chris. You got Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
And
then you got Evil and Sonata. All right, here we go. All right,
if they were smart, which don't know if they are, they could just put FWC in it. Truthfully, in the tag little, they don't have to put them on All In, but they could put them in the tournament. They should. Chris and Willow versus FWC. I mean, I know it's not AEW wrestlers, and I'm gonna have to hear the complaints about that. But who cares at this point? We're just making a card for funsies here. And again, we're selling for. That's probably the Forbidden Door match. Never mind. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
You actually probably. If we're establishing women's tag titles, then we're gonna pick a FWC probably, or some other Stardom team. It should be FWC.
They're the ones going worldwide and such. AKA, we don't want to book you guys anymore, but you're still here.
Yep.
That would be good though. Give me that. Give me that Forbidden Door. All right, everyone. I booked Forbidden Door for you. Yeah, no, you're probably just doing Tay Mello versus Megan and Penelope versus Chris and Willow. So
Koguma and WWE would work really well.
WWE, that's crazy. What about Athena and Billy?
Sure. 4-way.
Yeah, why not? I think that'd be good. Actually, I think that works.
Yeah, why not?
I'm trying to get Athena on this card, people. I'm doing my best.
I appreciate it. I certainly appreciate it. All right, let's talk about Dominion. Upcoming show for Dominion for New Japan this upcoming Sunday next week.
You're kidding Dominion. It's on Sunday.
Ugh. Yes, it is on Sunday the 15th. We can also talk about Triple Mania Regia, but I decided to do that on next week's show. Probably. Because next week's show, Scotty, is going to be an all Mexico show, I think. We got Triple Mania, we got the Dynamite in Mexico, we got 2 great CMLL, Fantasco Mania stuff.
Literally have to review this show that we're about to preview.
And we also have to review Dominion, of course. Assuming we can watch it because it will be happening first thing in the morning. But
yeah, we might want to.
We'll discuss times. We might have to do
maybe like delay an hour.
Yeah. So Dominion, this is what we got on the card so far. We'll go through it.
Are you excited for Dominion?
Right now I'm not feeling excited coming off of Best of Super Juniors, but I do remember that this card was really good. So let's go through this card and figure out if we are still excited for the show.
Let's get Ryan excited.
Hit that, Scotty. Can you play the song?
Yep. 1 second. Hold on. Oh, why did they change this?
I know it's weird now.
I don't like it.
You do the lyrics. I'll take it as a no. Let's start off Dominion. Let's look at it. There's a kickoff match. We're just going to skip that. Just a bunch of the Young Lions. First match, special 8-man tag match. Let's get us into it. Taiji Shimori, Chase Owens, Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney. I've never seen a match that Scotty's going to skip faster before.
I might watch it because of X.
Versus Yujiro Takahashi, Ren Narita, Sonata, and
I'm
X.
not watching this.
Scotty, who is X?
Jake Lee.
Do you think this is the Jake Lee return match?
It's either that or I don't know. I don't know who else it would be.
Oh, someone of the Best of Super Junior, like Mao or some craziness like that.
Carl Fredericks.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's fun. That's interesting.
It's not going to be Carl Fredericks. House of Torture's all Japanese. I'm going to go with Jake Lee. Jake Lee's not Japanese either. Shit.
Jake Lee's not Japanese?
No, he's from Jake Lee is from he is. Wait, no, he is
born
Japanese.
In Japan.
I understand that he's 1 second. I know he's from Japan. Whatever. I'm not.
Is he of a descent? Of
yeah. This is why I'm not allowed to do these things. I don't know. Oh, he's Korean. He's also Korean.
Okay, great. We're very quietly treading into unwanted territory, and we got it back around. We got it back around.
I'm not gonna watch this match. But what I am gonna say is that I was on Keeping It Strong Style this week with Jeremy Donovan.
Yeah, former guest of the pod
this week. And he asked me who my favorite New Japan wrestler was. And I go, well, this is my last appearance because my answer is Evil. So yeah, that was fun. I continue. I feel like I got booed the moment I said it, but I was like, I'm not gonna lie. You want me to tell the truth?
You want me to tell the truth? Fine. Jake Lee, fine. Get off my case.
Yeah. Shout out to Evil. He has my most anticipated match on the show because that's what he does, baby.
Second match.
X could stink.
Yes, X could stink, and it might still be Jake Lee. It might stink.
It also could just be like Taiji Shimori.
Taiji Shimori is on the other side.
I know, that's the point.
Oh, they're gonna do a little hardcore Holly, Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes gimmick.
Yeah, that could be that. Which honestly probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't know why he's in the War Dogs.
I don't know either.
He hates working to begin with, so.
Well, then it makes sense that he's with Chase Owens. Anyways, second match, special tag match: El Phantasmo and Shota Umino versus Rohei Iwa and Zack Sabre Jr. Fine little tag.
I don't want Shota Umino and Zack Sabre Jr. in the ring anymore. Stop it.
Just, you want to get a newspaper? Hit Gato on the nose.
I'm gonna hit him with the Fukigen Death newspaper. What the frick are we doing? Why are we always putting these two in the same match? They have no chemistry. Stop it. Bad dog. Actually, Gato's dead. Evil killed him. So that doesn't matter. He killed him last week. I don't know who's booking this, but I need someone else to book this. Oiwa has done nothing.
He's done nothing. He's really done nothing.
This company stinks at putting the new guys in things that matter. Like, is he going to have his great first G1? Yeah, I'm sure he is. So that'll be fine. But why is he doing this? He loses title matches. That's all he's done. He had that great match with Takeshita.
Yeah.
He's teaming with Kaito soon. See that?
Okay.
On the Hiroshi Jam show.
Okay.
Hiroshi Tanahashi Jam. Hiroshi. I mean, I wasn't technically wrong.
No,
that is his name. Yeah. So the main event of that is Tanahashi and Marusuji versus Oiwa and Kaito. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. This sucks. I'm sick of Oiwa doing nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Are you excited for Zach and Shota again?
No.
No.
I mean, look, if we're doing the show an hour later, we need to watch Dominion. I know it's 2 matches I am skipping to, and maybe go back around, but
everything else I'll watch. Everything else I'll watch.
I think everything else I'll watch as well.
The problem is we're gonna need to like somehow get the feed before it goes into the. Oh, you can't watch this now because we have to break it up into single matches. So, we'll
figure it out as we go. I mean, that might just be us delaying for an hour to see, it's waiting and refreshing just to try to see if it pops up.
Yeah, our podcast starts at. We might just be on. We might just have to do a night show.
We might have to. We'll figure it out. We'll talk. Yeah. I think
we want to go against Triple Mania.
You couldn't even finish your sentence.
No,
all right. Other thing to note also is that we're probably going to get G1 Climax announcements.
Yay! That's the most fun part of Dominion.
Yeah. The fervor of who's going to be in G1 Climax. When does that start?
Big Bill.
Oh my god!
Give me Big Bill.
Oh my god! I would love that.
I try it every year. I'm going to do it again this year. Give me Big Bill.
That would be fun. Just
what do we want?
Him shoot towering over every single person.
Who do we need? Bill.
It happens July 19th would be the date, the beginning of the G1 Climax.
That's very
a week after All in Texas.
Hold the phone. Are you holding the phone?
Hold
the phone.
Holding.
When is Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door is August 24th.
It's the week after the G1 final. Oh, that'll be a lot of builds for that show.
Well, that's the time that. Well, I was going to say that's when everyone shows up on AEW television, but
they'll just have Tanahashi there.
They will just be in the G1 Climax the entire time. I did not think about that, but that's a great point.
Oof, baboof.
That's a big boof. Are we good? Can I put the phone down?
What is this? What are you doing with the phone?
You told me to hold the phone. Just under your breath. Fuck you.
It's a good bit.
It's a good bit. Third match, 30-minute time limit. A Hiroshi Tanahashi.
They bring the torture.
Down.
You know how many people probably listen to this show and have no idea that exists?
Too
many.
And those are our day ones. Those are our day ones. And they're not down since. Third match, 30-minute time limit. Hiroshi Tanahashi final road match. Hiroshi Tanahashi, of course, versus Yuya Uemura. I mean, yeah, that should be good.
Yay!
I'm excited to be good.
He's gonna will himself to make it as good as he can, and that's what I'll appreciate.
Yeah. I don't have any other point. The match is gonna have to be good. Fourth match, a WGP Junior Tag Team Title match. Master Wato and Yo defending their titles for the first time against Sho and Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Okay.
We didn't talk about the Best of Super Juniors finals. I assume you've watched it at this point. We sort of talked about the result of not Yo winning. Fujito winning. Yo had a good showing in the finals. I think that's fair to say.
Yo had a good yoing.
He had a yo'd his way to a yoing.
Yo had a good showing and Sho had a good yoing. Yes.
I don't know why that one got me.
Hey yo!
Oh, that's the kind of stupidity joke that I enjoy. I
was proud of that one.
Overall, I thought his tournament was lacking, but his finals were definitely there.
Stinky.
Shout
out to the Ziploc, huh?
Not the most interesting guy of the roster, in my opinion. This match, if I was going to skip one, I'm still going to watch it, but if I was going to skip one, it might be this. But I don't really care for this match.
Ryan, the first half of the card. If there was a match I was going to skip, it would be this one 3 times.
Yeah.
If that doesn't excite you for Dominion, I don't know what does, folks.
Yuya Uemura versus Tanahashi starts the going. It's
gets you boiling, gets you spicy, gets you excited, gets you on your feet.
The water's in the pot, and Uemura Tanahashi is putting the salt in. It's like, okay, we're starting the process.
We're starting to cook, but we don't want to go too fast.
This fourth match is like 1 minute into I've started heating up the water to boil. We're not boiling it yet, and it was kind of like waiting too long.
You know what this match is? It's the only junior match on the show, and that is a bit much.
Yeah, the notable thing, obviously, is Vegeta's not challenging Despy for the title here. Instead, he is going to wait to challenge Despy. How nice of him. Till after, what was it? The Death Pain Invitational is what it's called.
Yeah, it's after the last Desperado Kasai match, which will now be for the title.
Which is very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. That's going to be in Corkin Hall on June 24th, which is very soon.
Well, we should just give credit to Fujita. He said, what if like Desperado kills himself?
Then
like,
I win.
I will win. He's like, why would I do it before that? Why don't I just wait? Logic works sometimes, folks, and this is one of those times.
Yeah.
Bummer for them though, because they're not on the big show. But
Dominion to be this Sunday, and then a week later we'll get that Death Pain Invitational. Do we know when he is going to challenge? I don't remember if I heard. Okay, great. So I imagine
probably going to wait to see what Desperado looks like after that match.
It'll probably be after that match. It'll be a challenge official after that match. So
probably the New Japan Soul, like Korakuen, one of them. Because I don't know if you know this, that G1 starts very soon after.
Fifth match, IWGP Tag Team Title match. Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii challenging the team of Great O'Khan and Callum Newman. That gets me a little.
So I gotta just get this. I just could get this off.
Scott, this is official breaking news. Scotty has to get off. Scotty, go ahead.
You see that 30 under 30?
Yes,
list?
I did see the Voices of Wrestling did a 30 under 30.
No, we weren't naming the thing because I didn't want to get yelled at.
Too late. My apologies. I didn't realize that was what the gimmick was.
You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to say it anymore.
You have to. You have to.
I can feel the rage bubbling, and I don't want to do it.
Do you see? Are you talking about number one?
Oh, I saw number one.
I believe number one was Gabe Kidd. Every single person I saw responding to that who voted in it were like, Gabe Kidd got number one. All right, that's interesting. They're like not upset about it, but they're also like shocked a little bit.
I think my favorite reactions was, wow, what Kenny Omega does for a guy. I thought that was funny. Yeah, that list. I did not take part in it. Someone asked me, why did the list look like this? I was like, I don't know. I didn't fucking do it. You think I let that happen?
You did it in the past, if I'm not mistaken. Or I might be confusing with the FSM.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the main one I do. Yeah, that list was something. I'll just say that. Every time someone told me something new, I never actually looked at the full thing, but someone always told me like someone was on it, then this other person wasn't, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to look at it.
Would it be a fun bit to take a quick tangent and go through the top 15 with Scotty?
No. No. Callum Newman was on it, and I freaked out.
Would it be more fun to go through number 30 through 16 with you? So it's people that you
just want to go through it. I just want to go through it.
It's not that I want to go through it. I think I'm thinking of the funny bit of Scotty reacting in real time to the numbers and placements, knowing that he disagrees with a good portion of them.
I think I disagree with the entire list for one reason or another.
Now, this is just teasing our audience even more. If we get one comment from the audience saying that we should do it, we'll do it. That's what.
Don't do it.
How about this? To be fair to you, Scotty, 2 comments from our audience in the live chat.
No, one's fine.
Okay,
I don't think we're gonna get it, so I'm not worried.
All right, well then we'll move on. We'll go through. Yeah, the bit is if we get one comment saying to do it, we'll read the top 15 from the VOW 30 for 30. Let's get Scotty's
Yeah,
reaction.
you want
That's
me to fucking rage. What's
six,
that from? Rage, motherfucker. Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
That's from Big Mouth.
6-match, never openweight title match. Konosuke Takeshita versus Bolton Oleg. Is this the match,
Yeah.
Scotty, that Bolton Oleg is winning the never openweight title finally?
It sure is, baby. Here we go. Can't wait. Let's do it again. Third match in the series. Gonna be great. Bolton Oleg wins. Sets up Takeshita for a big G1. That's what it's all about.
I mean, I guess, are we assuming that he's in the G1 this year?
I am assuming until he has a dual contract, it's got to mean something. And AEW has very clearly not used him, I think, because of it. So I think they've clearly downcycled him to not do it.
He would be able to be at All in Texas and in the G1, so it's certainly possible. I don't think there's any other dates. Forbidden Door would be the next big AEW date, so yeah, he would be able to do G1 completely.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that. Need it. Need it.
Now,
Bolton Oleg wins. God bless.
If Oleg wins, Takeshita goes in the G1.
Yes.
Are we going to give Takeshita a title match? Is he going to win the whole thing? Tell me he's winning the whole thing, Scotty.
I think the final's going to be him and Big Suge. Ryan is sweating.
I gotta take off my hoodie.
he is melting. He is like, oh my
I am boiling.
Oh my god. Here we go. Yeah, no, I think that's the direction.
7th match, dog collar chain death match.
Yeah.
Really just probably a dog collar match. David Finlay versus Evil. I mean, genuinely, this is, I'm excited.
Say the name right.
Sorry, the King of Darkness, Evil. Versus.
Can't freaking wait.
Yeah, this rules.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. This is the type of match that the House of Torture, the House of Torture shenanigans will work very well.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be great. David Finlay. Yeah, this is my most anticipated match. I understand like Hiroki Goto and Shingo is happening, and that's gonna be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But does that have Evil in it? No.
Versus, of course, David Finlay. David Finlay, I'm excited to see him. I think he's an insanely great brawler as of late. You know, the past year or so.
Best brawler in the biz.
Year and a half, he's become such a fantastic brawler, and a special violent brawler as well.
There must be blood.
There must be blood, and I think we'll get blood. And I'm very much excited for this. I think this should be a very fun match.
Obviously, David Finlay has to bleed because we can't ruin Evil's beautiful face.
Naturally. You're going to ruin that makeup? Of course not.
Come on now. Exactly.
Crazy.
You're going to ruin that gear? Come on. What are we doing?
Crazy.
Yeah, David Finlay bleeding in either in victory or defeat works.
Holding up his hands.
He's going to try to choke. It's going to be great. I'm very excited for this match.
What I really love about Dominion here is that,
no time limit. Oh, baby, this is going 70.
There is so many of these people that based on who wins, who loses, like immediately I'm looking at them and looking at their G1 climax.
Yeah. And, I think Evil's winning. So
you mean the G1 climax or this match?
Yeah, the entire thing. Evil. Shout out. Yeah, no, you're right though. See, the thing about the G1, right, is that it should be good. You skipped the tag title match.
I did? No, I didn't. I said it.
You said Taichi and Ishii?
Yes. You got distracted by the 30
that's right.
list.
That's right.
My
bad.
Which, Eternal, if you're in the chat, I want to see Scott react. Go through the list. He's a big Maduka Kakuta fan, I hear.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, quick tangent.
Fucking shit. You put him on it. You put Callum Newman on it. Game Kids first. I'm not even looking at the list now, and I'm reacting to it.
Going through the WWE 30 for 30, 15 up to number 1. This is the list as follows, and we'll get Scotty's immediate reaction to all of them.
Do the whole thing. Just do the whole thing. I'll give you all 30.
Oh, okay. I'll give you all 30 if that's what you want. We can't do the honorable mentions because the honorable mentions is 100 people long. Number 30, Mad Dog Connolly.
What? Out of the entire world?
Yes.
I know you like him, but really?
He's 29 years old. He just made it.
List?
Yes. And so this person's better than Mad Dog Connolly, 29, Cal Newman.
Dear fucking God. Oh, there's wrestlers on this list that I know that didn't make it. And knowing he did, New Japan fans, I am coming for you.
I do like Mad Dog Connolly at like a 30 spot. That's like not.
Listen.
That's not
I understand how these lists work, right? You like to give shouts to all these different folks.
Yeah.
So I can get over that one. Callum Newman? Are we kidding? Also, I read the fucking comments for the MJF part of this. Oh yeah, he sucks, but he's pretty good sometimes. Once in a while,
got potential.
I was like, "What are you doing?"
I know.
All right, next.
Number 28, Rohei Oiwa.
Okay, that's fine.
That's good. It's good. It's same ranking as last year at number 28 as well. So did not move at all in a year's time.
Awesome.
Number 27, Yuma Aoyagi.
What? That guy stinks. No, he is a comedy wrestler now. I can't stand that guy. What are we doing? Fuck.
Okay, Scotty, this is
gonna
be
easy. Myself. I'm getting myself prepared mentally.
This is going to be an easy one to get you back in the mindset. Number 26, Hologram.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean I think that's solid.
Out of the world, whatever. That's fine.
Number 25, Adam Priest. Okay. I just want to mention, by the way, 3 of the, I assume 5 people I've mentioned so far are all 29. This will be the last time they can ever be on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Number 24, Maduka Kakuta.
Fuck off. He's so bad. His title reign was shit. He's not good. He stinks. Like, the reason he's a heel is because he was a bad baby face. Like, his wrestling is bad. What are we doing? Like, I know there's like probably 75 Dragon Gate wrestlers on this list. That's how these lists work. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we lying? Who watches him as an entertainer? Whatever. Move on.
He's officially better than Hologram, Scotty, or has more potential than Hologram.
He's better than like all the people not on the list that I would have had on the list instead of him. So the good thing we didn't go through honorable mentions, because if you name the people that I know aren't on this list and fucking Madoka Kakuta finished over them and Callum Newman.
Is the list meant to be the best wrestlers under the age of 30 or the ones with the most potential?
It's best wrestlers under the age of 30.
Okay. I mean, so I guess potential
it's based on like in-ring, promo, something. It's like 5 different things.
Okay. Number 23, Francisco Akira.
Okay.
I think that's fine. A top 30 making, I think that's fine.
I guess, yeah. Whatever.
Number 22, Ishin. Dragon Gate's Ishin.
Okay.
Scotty's not upset about that one. I mean, 21.
He's really high. What are we doing?
Yeah. Number 21, way too low in my opinion, but also didn't even make it last year. Kevin Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, not upset about that one. I'm upset with the placement.
I like Kevin Knight.
21 is low.
You guys don't understand that are listening to this how many wrestlers I know are 30 and under and are better than a lot of these people. So I'm losing my shit. But like, I'm just reacting to the people on the list, not who's not.
Yeah. Number 20, Jackie Kamei. Dragon Gate's Jackie Kamei.
What are we fucking doing?
Number 19,
Dragon Gate.
Let's turn things around for Scotty. Number 19, Starlight Kid.
She's only 19?
Well, no, I believe her age is.
Shut the fuck up. I knew you were going to do it. So wait a minute. Hold on. She's not. This is going to get worse now because now I have a placement of someone I like. Okay. Keep going.
Now let's all
When
recognize.
you say Azumi ahead of her, I'm gonna lose my.
No.
freaking-
Azumi was.
She's ahead of her. I know she is. She's in the top 15, which is
by a good amount. By a good amount.
You all just like move.
I mean,
Go ahead.
moves are good.
Moves are great. I know. Shut up. Who's next?
The next one's great. The next one's a great new bit. Number 18, Mochizuki Jr.
See, like he's actually one of the young guys I like.
Yeah.
But why is he so hot? He's like the 10th one on this list from the company. And I know Shun Skywalker's on this list.
Number 17, Mao. Scotty just threw his I can't believe Mao was the guy that broke Scotty. I'm crying. I'm so happy we're doing this bit.
My headphones broke. I'm not reacting the rest of the way. I'm done. Thanks, Eternal.
I'm crying. I'm genuinely crying. Oh my God. Fucking Christ. It's so funny. Oh, we gotta compose ourselves. We're only at 17. Ooh, Eternal appear in the chat. Have you noticed there's only been one woman? So
I've noticed.
now,
list, I could make a 30 under 30 of just Joshi wrestlers, and there's one total woman on here.
Scotty, we do have to remember we do have our own personal biases. I would have more AEW people. You would have more Joshi people.
You know who I can tell is voting on here? AEW people. You know why? Because there's no women. Continue.
Oh, God. 16, speaking of MJF.
How can anyone watch MJF the past 2 years and say, oh, you know what? He's got to be on this list. When everyone audibly says if he's not around, it's better.
All of the
comments. Would you have MJF on the list?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. You know why? Because you hate him.
He does have elements like he's the guy that like literally there are 5 comments, 6 comments, and I'm friends with some of these people. I've talked to some of these people that they all 6 of them involved them saying in some regard that I can't defend the Brochacho stuff. You know, he's not perfect.
All these things are bad.
Failure of the storyline. We were 2 year removed from the 2023. Creatively, his instincts are still questionable. Like it's a bunch of you gotta hand it to him.
I know there's a comment on there, and I'm gonna applaud whoever it says that it's for Ozawa. I did see this one. I don't know who it was, but it pops me so much. Like I've only seen one match of his, but I was like, what? She still voted for him?
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Pops me though, because honestly, like I think that's the entire Ozawa appeal.
Yeah. Number 15, Azumi.
Happy she's on it.
Happy she's on it.
Not be over Starlight Kid.
I think she is over Starlight Kid because she's been in America a couple times.
Yeah, of course. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Living in America.
14, Neon. He should be on here.
I like Neon. That's right.
Yeah, he should be on here. 26 years old. He should be on here. 13, Kosei Fujita. He should be on here. That's a good spot.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that. This is nice now. See, look at him calm.
12, Mascara Dorada. Little low, but
only 12.
Yeah, a little low. Last year was
out though.
Yeah,
he went down.
Went down one ranking.
Come on, man.
Yeah, a little low, but fine. Not the top. Should be the top 10. Should be the top 10, but whatever.
I agree. If we're representing the world, I agree.
Surely there are some better out there. 11, Atlantis Jr. I mean, Mascara Dorada should be higher than Atlantis. I really like Atlantis Jr., but Mascara Dorada should be definitely higher than him.
I know Atlantis Jr. has the voice of an angel.
He does. He does.
But
I texted you and said that if I was WWE and I had to steal one CML talent, it's Atlantis Jr.
Yeah. I can't believe that.
He speaks really well.
I like
really great English. He is a second generation wrestler.
But Dorada's better.
What's that?
Dorada's better.
Oh, yes. As an overall worker, yeah.
I like him, though. So, like, I'm not mad. I'm just, like, shocked. Okay,
I mean, if you swap them, I'd be, like, a little bit happier, you know?
Yeah.
10, Zendokan Jr.
Wow. Good for him.
I think, yeah, that to me, that's a little high comparative to Dorada, but...
A little recency bias.
I think a little bit of recency bias as well.
I like him, though.
I do like him. I love Zendokan Jr. I would probably put him in the top 15. I don't know if I would put him in the top 10, you know?
Yeah. Still shocked that Dorada's third.
Third of those CMLL guys.
Yeah. I'm guessing there's no more.
Now we're in the top 10 with Zendokan Jr. Number 9, Kaito Kiyomiya. Last year,
I still think Kaito's great.
Yeah, last year was number 1. So I think that speaks to a big fall for Kaito, but I still think he's solid, you know?
Shocked to hear he was number 1, to be honest, last year.
Yeah. Number 8, Toni Storm. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
She should be on the list. Number 7, Scotty, Saya Kamatani.
She's number 7.
Number 7, Saya Kamatani. Thoughts?
Okay. I will see who's ahead of her before I react.
All right. Number 6, Suri. That is a punch, Scotty.
There's not a better. No.
We're saying there are 5 people better than Suri in the world that are under the age of 30.
That's not true. That's like objectively not true.
Okay, well let's judge Suri versus.
I know Gabe Kidd's one of them, so I'm already losing my lid.
All right, number 5, better than Suri, Yuma Ansai.
What? He's done nothing in the past year. What?
Number 4.
What?
Number 4. Number 4, Ozawa.
Oh, fuck me. What are we doing?
Who's the guy that said it was Fred? Oh man, Fred.
It pops me good though.
I do love
4?
Fred. I do love Fred.
Listen, I know he's a draw.
I mean, he is a massive draw. You can't deny that.
Yeah, but like
it is waning. I did not.
I agree.
I hated that triple threat match he just had.
So like Kamatani's a massive draw too.
That is true.
Like, we want to just make points here?
That's a great point.
There's not a woman inside the top 5. Great list. I know there's not. There's no one that's higher than Suri.
Well, yeah. That's accurate. I mean, I think if you look at the women, Suri should be number 1.
4 women.
4
on entire list of top 30. 4 women.
No, you're Toni Storm, Suri, Saya Kamatani,
5.
Asune,
Sorry.
and Starla Kid. 5.
5 total.
Yeah.
5.
Suri should be number 1 though. If we're looking at just the women, you know, you can't deny that.
I'm not gonna.
Scotty, do you want to just put a blanket around you and constrict yourself?
Here's the bad part.
Just want to constrict yourself because I got to do number 3 next, and I
hope no one's watching this. I don't want to give Voice of Wrestling like credit by like, oh, we got reactions out of it. No, you're getting reactions because it's wrong. Okay, continue.
I want all of my friends who are part of this to not dunk on me because this is all Scotty's reactions, and I'm laughing.
Yeah, this is me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
No one's good. No one. It's fine. Right. You can listen to the audio. You know, if you don't see my reactions, I just need to go find my stress cube. I don't have it now. I'm freaking out.
Do you want to grab it real quick? Should we? I think you should find it.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Okay, yeah. I think we just take a quick breather, everybody. I think Scotty just needs a quick breath. I know for a fact. Eternal Pure said it himself. Number 3 is gonna kill him. Based on previous reactions, I think it's fair to say, Scotty, you ready for number 3? So
I
of
can't
course,
believe Ma was the one I threw my headset for. I don't know what
in hindsight, really big reaction.
It's been worse since then. I'm sorry, Mao.
So of course, number 6, Suri. Number 5, Yuma Anzai.
Did you just need to say that again? Like, did you feel the need to say Saori was 6 again?
Number 4, Ozawa. Number 3, Shun Skywalker. Scotty, letting the anger wash over him. Letting it pass.
What am I missing with this guy?
He's holding, in this picture, he's holding a baby.
All right, maybe I wasn't familiar with this game. Here's the thing with Shun Skywalker for me.
Yeah.
I feel like the heel gimmick is not good for me as the outsider.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So like maybe I'm missing something.
Eternal Pure for the children.
Yeah, he is for the children. Lord knows Gabe Kidd isn't. So like, yeah, good for him. I don't know. Like I feel like Shun Skywalker is the guy I'm always told is great, and then I watch and I'm like, what? I see he can be a great wrestler, but the heel stick isn't. Number 3.
I feel like it's a little. I feel like it's a. I really like Shun Skywalker. I really like the start of that, like that Masquerade stuff. I really enjoyed.
I love him in Masquerade. He was great there. He's not.
That was what, 5 years ago at this point.
I think so.
Yeah, like
this is not better. He's not better in this character than he was then.
It's just the same. It feels like a little long in the tooth.
Well, Masquerade was like cool and like he actually wrestled matches and didn't do the laugh.
Sure. It just feels.
Number 2 is Kyle Fletcher. Number 1 is Gabe Kidd.
That is correct. Number 2, Kyle Fletcher. Number 1, Gabe Kidd.
I paid attention to like Kyle Fletcher not being named, so I figured that out. Oh my god,
Kyle Fletcher should 100% be part of the top 5. I will just say.
Yeah, you can have him there.
I know my AEW bias.
He's not the one angering me.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Like I'm not phased by that. Like I understand how the voting goes. I would have been shocked if he wasn't top 5.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I'm gonna make a better list in the next 10 seconds. Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone that you're immediately drawing from that is missing? I mean, I don't know what their ages are, but I can do a quick.
Do you want me to give like a list of Joshi wrestling? Because I'm not gonna do that.
No, just give me a list of like 10 other wrestlers that you think are
10.
Sure, 5. Give me 5 other wrestlers. Doesn't have to all be Joshi, but just like I can verify the ages, but just
Natsupoi's not on this list. I think Natsupoi is better than a lot of these people. I think 18-year-old Arena is better than a lot of these people. Like you want me to just I'm trying not to only name Joshi, but that's where my head goes automatically.
That's like 29 years old.
By the way, learning Takesha's no longer under 30 was a fun thing to learn here. Unless they just kept them off, which would be 10 times funnier. Yeah, I could go. I have a lot of people. I'm not gonna go through them all, but
sure.
Just to save us time. But Braun Breaker, where the
That's a good point. Braun Breaker. No,
come on.
Was there a single WWE person
there? Of course there wasn't. There was 10 Dragon Gate people instead.
I'm not saying that Dragon Gate's extremely great and WWE isn't. We have our thoughts of WWE, but not a single WWE person in here.
Braun Breaker, Obafemi.
Braun Breaker in the honorable mentions section. Didn't even make it last year, and now he's in the honorable mentions. Obafemi, he is also in the honorable mentions.
I think so. I almost voted in this, and then I knew it wouldn't matter, and I was right.
Would if you voted, wouldn't you have helped push up more women's wrestlers and Joshi wrestlers?
Clearly not.
Well, I mean, we don't know how close the voting.
I don't think my votes are going to change that much. They're just more honorable mentions.
Possibly, probably
based on how this went.
Sure.
5 total women wrestlers out of 30. Dragon Gate had more wrestlers than women wrestlers.
Is that accurate? I feel like that's accurate.
Feels accurate. I don't even have a problem with Dragon Gate. This is making me sound like I have a problem with that promotion. I don't.
If anything, you have a problem with DDT.
That was just the added up rage by then. I don't even hate Mao. That was just a matter of like, because you said Starlight Kid and then you went to Mao. Like that was a bad 1-2 punch for me.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Look, if I had to give my opinions, I definitely do feel like Dragon Gate and all of these, and Voice of Wrestling do these polls every once in a while where it's like 30 under 30, or the FSM 50, I think, also does this a lot of it. And I think, and I know why.
Oh, easy. No, I know.
I know why, but like, I do feel like we made an effort.
Part of that one.
We made an effort this year to try to get more into Dragon Gate because, and part of that is a reaction for me of like, Dragon Gate's always constantly these polls. You were talking up really Yamato a lot last year, at the end of last year, for fair reasons, right? And it's just sort of the thing of like, okay, maybe I need to check out Dragon Gate because there's so many people that I do respect. There are people in here that I do respect their opinions, obviously. But it is this thing of like, at a certain point, Dragon Gate it should be the number one promotion in the world with all these great wrestlers, and I watch it and I just can't get into it.
Owned.
Yeah, but truly, like I just can't get into Dragon Gate. And one of the reasons we haven't talked about Dragon Gate forever is because at a certain point I just turned to Scotty and says, "I'm watching all these shows and I am so bored out of my mind."
Yeah, own their shit. Own their shit, Ryan. Yeah, stay with your chest.
That is my, of course, personal opinion, but I just can't get into Dragon Gate. There are times where I do really enjoy Dragon Gate, right? If I pop in, parachute in for a great match, I do enjoy it. But a lot of times I'm seeing like reviews. Look, in the vein of being fair and unbiased and everything, Scotty, and to be fair to you, there are times where like I'll hear great things about like Joshi matches, right? And I'll watch them out and I'll be like, this didn't really hit for me as much. And maybe it's because I'm not as involved in the promotion, and I'm more into Stardom than I think than like Dragon Gate, but I'm not as involved in this promotion as you are, or people that are voting in this that are massive Dragon Gate fans, like Mike Spears. That
works for me towards AEW, obviously. So
yeah. So the same reason that like you feel like there'd be more Joshi people or more or whatever, which I don't necessarily disagree with. It's just this thing of like, I think this group of people are big Dragon Gate fans. Whereas like if you took another group of people like Scotty or even like Eternal up here in the chat, they would probably be even more Joshi. If you did that same sort of idea, 30 versus 30 under 30, you did you, me, Scotty, Eternal, Pure, like a bunch of other people that we know that maybe lean towards that Joshi side of things, then we'll get the same sort of issue of 30 under 30 where most of it is Stardom wrestlers and like there's barely anything else. I think that what I'm trying to say is that this list has a lot of biases, and I think it shows in that top 30 list. Truly, I would Eternal Pure. I'd agree with you. I would have more Lucha guys as well. They did throw in Foos from Club Lucha in here, but I don't think that was kind of enough. I would definitely have more Lucha guys in here. I mean, I do like the guys that they picked: Dorada, Atlantis Jr., Zandokan. I think the where they placed is a little weird to me. And yeah, I think it's just it's something that whenever you're making this list that you have to struggle with is where the bias is going to shine and show out and come through. And I think when it comes to Voice of Wrestling, there is a making these lists and publishing these lists, there is a Dragon Gate bias for sure. I think if you made a list with a bunch of your friends, Scotty, there would probably be a Joshi bias. And I think that's fair.
Difference. Mine would be correct.
and that's where it would lie. And I think that's just what it is. And do I disagree with this list? In principle, yeah, probably. This wouldn't be my list. MJF being so high and then everyone's saying he's not great. He's not perfect. It's kind of crazy. I would certainly have other people. I can't tell off the top of my head. Like I said, I would have Kevin Knight way higher. I just looking at my top 10 or top wrestlers of the year so far, Scotty, number 1 right now would be Kosei Vegeta, and number 2 would be Kevin Knight. Just looking at it literally right now. Then Dorada at number 3. Saya Kamatani at number 4. That is who I have that is from this list. I know for a fact under 30 years old who would all be listed here. Actually, no, Kyle Fletcher would be number 1. Then Fujita, then Knight, then Dorada, then Saya Kamatani. That is kind of where I have it at right now with all these sort of things. So, I don't know who's the first Dragon Gate guy that pops up. Scrolling. There's Yuma Ansai and Yuma Iwagi. How old is Big Hosh, by the way?
Hashimoto? I think she's over 30 now.
I think she is as well. KZ would be the first Dragon Gate guy on my list. 32. That is under. Well, no, KZ is down under 30. Yeah, so Yamato and KZ, they're both down under 30. Shun Skywalker would then be the next guy, and he is tied at number 6.
And this is just in ring, by the way.
This is just in ring. I have over 90 people that I think are better than Shun Skywalker.
I do want to respect that. Like, there are other aspects to this. This isn't just in ring. But most of these people are voting within ring. So,
which for this kind of list makes sense.
It's fine. It's just like whatever. I don't know, fucking thing. Whatever.
If the criteria
is a subjective list, so I understand that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
the thing about time. I feel like if you're making this list, you want to represent all of wrestling. And even if I don't like WWE, not having Braun Breaker on here, I think is egregious. You should have representation from everyone. Saying that WWE doesn't have a good system of youth is just undeniably wrong. I think that's not a subjective take. That is an objective take.
I was thinking about this in regards to the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame because I recorded 3 episodes of The Ballot in this past week, so I was thinking about it a lot. Yeah, I'm locked and loaded for the next 3 months. There is something about us having subjective opinions about individual wrestlers, but then when a wrestler becomes a Hall of Famer, that subjective opinion of their work rate or working ability becomes objective, right? It when 60% or more vote to say that this person's a Hall of Fame worker, then they're a Hall of Fame worker, right?
Yeah.
Then what they do in the ring works for them, works to get them over to be Hall of Fame level, right? Even if it's Shingo, even if it's Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan obviously more so his case is drawing, but what he does in the ring helps make him more of a draw, which helps yada yada yada, So the same sort of thing kind of applies here, Scotty, is that everyone here has subjective lists, but when you combine all these things together, what start showcasing and what start coming across is the biases of this pool of people that you picked. Yeah. And those biases, obviously in this particular case, lean Dragon Gate. Lean non-WWE. I do think a proper list should have more WWE involvement. I'm
not saying 10. I'm saying literally 1.
Yes. All we're asking for is one WWE person in the top 30. I'm not even asking top 5. That's the thing. This list spurned out of what? The ESPN, I think, 30 for 30 list.
Yeah.
And how that list is always number 1 is Braun Breaker, number 2 is an AEW person, number 3 is, you know what I mean? Number 3 is
listen, again. I understand. I will not ever deny that I have bias, and I'm not going to sit here and say I don't have bias. I have more bias than anyone I've ever seen.
Sure.
But at the same time, I watch all these people. This is the thing. It's not like I don't watch these wrestlers. I do. I've watched every single one of these wrestlers named. And I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care that much. In the end, I can just make my own list.
Sure.
And I'll be happier with it. I'll make it 25 under 25. I'll just go 5 years harder. And you know what's funnier? There won't be a lot of men on that one, mostly because most of them don't do anything until they're 27 or on. I will say this. The list does make me realize how many AEW wrestlers are over 30. That was a big part of it for sure. Just naturally, oh yeah, that guy's over 30. I mean, because you're thinking of people missing that you kind of would have expected. Um,
I'm pulling at the honorable mentions to see like AEW wrestlers that aren't in it. Daniel Garcia,
he should not be on the list.
Commander. I think that's fine. Chris Stat,
Probably.
Lee Moriarty, Megan Bain, Nick Wayne, Wheeler Yuta, and that's it.
I would have been fine with Chris Stat being on this list.
Yeah. Eternal Pure, someone like even Tiffany Stratton, she has to be under 30. Tiffany Stratton, by the way, not even in honorable mention. To me, that is kind of crazy. to be kind of crazy. I mean, that's the other thing. If you want to talk about like, the gender inequality sort of things, this is also a discussion I've had because we recorded the Mercedes Moné episode for the ballot. Like, there is, at the end of the day, there are more men's wrestlers than there are women's wrestlers. It's hard to make it like an even number when it's just like they're just so outnumbered to a certain degree.
Why you let me make the list? It won't be outnumbered at all, brother.
Axiom. I was just looking up Axiom and Nathan Frazier. They're probably both in. No, just Axiom, by the way. Only Axiom is in the honorable mention. Nathan Frazier not even in honorable mention. That's kind of crazy. It's genuinely crazy to me. It's the thing of like, look, it at the end of the day, it is if you respect the opinions of the voting body, then this list might generate, you might agree with at the end of the day.
Did right? Roxanne get a vote?
Roxanne
Perez, yeah. Thinking of like the under 30 crew in
no. Not an honorable mention.
All right. What do we
that's a good question. How many WWE people got an honorable mention? Axiom, Braun Breaker, Cappuccino Jones, which is an WWE ID.
What?
Yeah, he got a list. Javon Evans.
Okay.
Mariah May, sure. Obafemi.
I'm looking at the list now. Okay.
Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is kind of crazy to be so low, but I get it. I understand.
She should be in it though.
I think she should be in 30. I mean, I'm not going to put her in top 10, not even top 15 probably.
So, okay. So I'm looking at this honorable mentions list and it's just enraging me more. So that's great.
I would not look at that if I were you.
This is oh my. I'm looking at it. Well, at least some of the wrestlers on Hazuki.
Hazuki is very egregious for me.
I like when you asked me what the list earlier, I wasn't really thinking. I was just like, I'm just naming people that pop in my head. That makes this list wrong. Undoubtedly. Like, that is not biased. That is objectively wrong. You're telling me that Callum Newman is better than Hazuki? You're lying. That's not true. I'm going to keep going through this. Well, that's my reactions.
We have to pull away from the list and go back to Dominion. We're almost at the 3-hour mark.
I thought we finished Dominion.
No, we didn't. We have two matches left to talk about Dominion. That was 40 minutes ago.
Dear God.
That's bad. Maybe you and I just go through and quickly publish our 30 for 30. We did that at one point a couple years ago. I have it here. I don't remember when we wrote it, but I have it here, and number one is hilarious. Would you like to remember? Would you like to know who number one was?
No.
MJF.
Fuck. That's why I said no.
Yeah, this our number. I'll give you the top 10. I'll give you the top 10. MJF, Ilya Dragunov, Julia, Kyle Fletcher, Kaito Kiyomiya, Vikingo, Utami Hayashishida, Suzu Suzuki, Takeshita, and Bandito.
Suzu Suzuki, you're just trying to enrage me more. Continue.
I think we'll pull it off of there and go back to Dominion. So that was quite the tangent. Eternal, if you're definitely derailed the whole thing. So shout out Eternal. I hope people enjoyed the little bit talking about the 30 for 30. My whole point is that, like, look, whenever you put a group of people together, there's going to be biases together that go out. I don't necessarily think it's the most accurate list, but I think no list is truly the most accurate list, other than a list Scotty and I make.
Yeah. I was gonna say my list would definitely be the most accurate.
So it's just, because it's the thing ultimately is like a better list here, Scotty, is going to be a list that where Voices of Wrestling brings in like WWE hardcore fans, right?
So
to balance things out, but you know what I'm saying. Like, and better than this, the Voice of Wrestling publishes is gonna be a list that they bring in like the WWE diehard fans, that are what doing their thing, the fans that like are gonna listen to Triple H and say they got worked, it was so great. But a Voice of Wrestling will never do that, and that's fine. They're publishing; they can do whatever they want, but they'll never do that.
I mean, yeah. Rhea Ripley was 15th on the list last year. Now she's off of it. Like, okay.
Well, I mean, the Liv Morgans.
You know what you should do? You know what you should do? You should let me, if they're lucky I didn't do my list, because I would have put mine out there at the same time when this was released and be like, look how like off I was from what ended up happening. There's just some wrestlers not on here that are upsetting me. So hold on. Oh.
I'm just gonna
move on. Just move on.
Back to Dominion semi-main event, IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Yusuji versus Gabe Kidd. So funny that's where we left off. I mean, this match should rule, though. I feel like this match should be really good.
Does like anyone care about Gabe Kidd winning anymore?
No. Oh, I mean, after the whole Jon Moxley AEW stuff, that's a great question. I think that's the most fascinating thing going into the semi-main event.
Like, I don't think anyone will be into it.
What is the Gabe Kidd reaction with the New Japan fans?
That will be the test.
I assume he wasn't on the Best of Super Juniors tour, which is why he was working in AEW.
Correct.
Right? So, yeah.
This will be his first appearance since.
How will the fans react? And he is probably winning. You're right. Very fascinating question. Something definitely to watch.
Will they react like he's the number one on the Voice of the Wrestling 30 under 30 list?
We'll find out. And then the main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Hiroki Goto versus Shingo. I mean, that should just be a fun, nice match.
Yeah, it should be great.
Yeah, nothing really there. That should just be a fun, great workman's match,
Yeah, there's not a single person that's going to be upset with that match.
I don't think so. Unless something goes horribly wrong. I think wrong.
Yeah, unless it's somehow bad. Unless Shingo joins House of Torture midway through the match or something.
He's the X somehow.
He's the X. He's in both matches. Yeah, whatever. I'm so happy I could lose my shit.
Yeah, good bit. I hope everyone at home enjoy that good bit.
Yeah, thanks, Eternal.
Let's end there, Scotty. That is it for this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. If you can give us some plugs, give us some match of the weeks.
I just thought of a great YouTube video. 30 under 30, our good list. That's gonna be the name of it. I don't know if I'm probably not actually gonna do that, but I kind of feel like I should. What was I talking about? Oh,
match of the week and plugs.
Yeah. YouTube.com/@ScottyWrestling. I do my podcast there, the Joshi 5-Star Joshi Show. I have a video up there this week talking who should be the next top babyface of Stardom. Spoiler alert. Only 2 people made the list of the 30 under 30. Yeah, go check that out. I don't know. You worked me all up. Now I'm out of gas.
Eternal, you're listening to this. Were you a part of the Best Around the Globe vote thing that we did last December? I don't know.
Anyways,
put it in the chat.
Let me finish my bit. YoshiInformer.substack.com. Newsletter every week, every Friday, keeping you updated on Joshi, who should feature the majority of the 30 under 30 in the world. Their Valkyra's under 30, by the way. That would have been a fine option.
I can see not making the list this year.
Sure. I'm just saying, if we're thinking of WWE names that would have been okay on the list.
Yeah.
The fact that Rhea Ripley's still under 30 is crazy, by the way.
Yes.
She's been around forever. I guess Toni Storm, same in many ways. Toni Storm's been around longer, obviously. My match of the week features Mayu Iwatani versus Misa Matsui. Misa Matsui, by the way, under 30 years old. I'm just going to keep doing it every single time for the rest of the time. Fantastic match. Great match in Shinjuku Face from Marigold. Had a great time. Victoria Yuzuki wasn't even an honorable mention. I don't think I can keep looking at this. Let's move on.
Yeah, stop looking at it.
It gets worse for me because I just realized like some people that I like, whatever. I'm done. I'm going to put a muzzle on myself.
Please do. Eternal Pure, I'm going to add you to the Baggy Awards. Because, speak to what I like said earlier about like trying to create a good pool of voters. That's something like with the Bag Awards, the Best Around the Globe Awards that we're doing over here at Count Out. That's something I try to do is, it's obviously based off of who our guests are and everything, but I think we have a good rail-rounded thing. I liked our awards that we did, the results of those things. So Eternal Pure, I'm going to add you to that. If any of the guests that we have on here, we tend to add those people on here. So it end up being pretty good. And also, I like adding Eternal Pure because I know for a fact that you're going to have Lucha takes. And that was a thing that I was like, oh, we're lacking more Lucha opinions, lacking more Lucha voters. So it's like, we need to add more of that. So I know for a fact Eternal Pure is going to have, well, at least CMLL. I think it's all fair if we don't. No one has any AAA voters, but we'll see. My plugs are going to be this Wednesday. There's actually going to be a new episode of The Ballot. This one is all going to be about French catch wrestling from the old 40s, 50s, and 60s. This is going to be a podcast that is a true history lesson on that region and that time period. All about the wrestler through the lens, I should say, of the wrestler Gilbert Leduc. Really, really great wrestler. One of his signature moves, Scotty, was that he would be trapped in like a head scissors or something. And what he would do, to escape, is he would just spin on his head like a top to escape out of a head scissors. And it was awesome. And it was cool. And this was in the 1950s or 40s or whatever. It always looked pretty cool. So you're going to learn a lot about it. And there was no better person to learn about it from. This name kept constantly popped up in my research. As the person who was basically putting all the research together. And that is, of course, Phil Lyons, a European wrestling historian. He was a great resource, great guest to have. Realistically, the only person to have on that episode of The Ballot to discuss Phil Lyons and French Catch. Sorry, not discuss Phil Lyons, to discuss Gilbert Leduc and French Catch at large. So if you really want to learn a bunch about that, or even just learn a little bit, you're going to learn something by listening to The Ballot this Wednesday, wherever you get podcasts. My match of the week is, of course, going to be probably just going to be the final main event of Dynamite, a 4-way match: Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, Mascara Dorada. Well, hold on. I don't think that counts. Does that count? I don't think it matters. Then I'll say this: West Coast Pro, Deadlock Pro, Prestige had a joint show on the Indies. United was the name of it. I really enjoyed the tag match between Jake Something and Matt Tremont versus Adam Priest and Mad Dog Connolly. I thought that was a really, really fun match. I went 3 3/4 on it, in fact. So go check that out. Yeah, I think it's on YouTube. I think it's free on YouTube. So go check that out whenever you're free and avail. That's been Ring Post Radio from us. Scotty is, I know for a fact, very much still looking at that 30 for 30 list. So thank you everybody listening to this. Thank you, Eternal Pure, for derailing us for an entire hour, extending this show to 3 instead of just 2. That sounds sarcastic, and in a way it is, but it definitely I do appreciate it because I thought it was a funny bit. Listen to Ring Post Radio wherever you get podcasts. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get those podcasts. Leave a review, leave your comments. We would greatly appreciate your feedback. Listen to the rest of the shows on the Count Out Network. And I guess until next week. Maybe not exactly at the start time that we typically do, maybe later in the day. At some point, we're going to try to watch Dominion and then record after that. So we'll figure out when that is and we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll tweet it. Maybe we won't. But at the very least, it'll be scheduled on YouTube. So until then, have a good one, everybody, and enjoy your Taco Bell.